Hello. Welcome to whatever the hell I called this thing. Smokesteve's blah, 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 blue. Whatever, homeboys. How you doing, everybody? Little Angie. So, y'all, how you doing? Just figured I'd get on here and do a little something. Seemed like there was a want for something tonight. I just slacked a little bit, which I do apologize. It was just a full day. Hi, McGrandy. And I wanted to get some dinner in my family and myself before, it should just, family, it's all good. So here we are now. I think I put the link in the description as usual. How you doing, McGrandy? Greg Topple in the house. Backstage Boxing. Last Dance. How are you, man? Bucks Corp. Cool. Thanks for being here, guys. Yeah, obviously viewers is going to be down because I was late. There was very little Twitter action about this. And British people probably went to bed. Hi, Sammy Cat, which is cool. I just figured it'd come on for whoever the remainers are. The remainers, right? Yeah, you know what I mean. There you go, Last Dance. Giving a hey back to Sam A. Right. Very cool. Yeah, so I want to start off with anything in particular. It's just a beautiful day here, so let's just leave it at that. Hello, Last Dance. How are you?
All right. Doing pretty good. How are you doing, Smokesteve?
Pretty good, thanks, man. Thanks. It was really nice around here today, so
yeah,
just made the best of it.
Good plan. We've had a couple of beautiful days, 2-3 beautiful days in a row. So I certainly understand. Plus, we all know when summer hits, we're not going to like being outside much at that point. So definitely, take advantage.
Today was summer-like here. It was probably 85 degrees.
Wasn't that warm here? But it was definitely more humid than it has been in previous days. It's just been gorgeous in the 70s. Not too humid the last 2-3 days.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to walk down to the beach, go for a swim, hang out. It's always obviously cooler down there, so
yeah,
I don't mind the heat.
How far are you from the beach?
Oh, it's probably around a 9-minute walk.
Oh man, I hate you.
Yeah, it's definitely less than a mile. I'd say 0.6 of a mile or something like that.
Oh man, that's awesome.
That's good. What are you on, near the Potomac?
No, the closest big river I'm near is a river called the Severn River in Maryland. Not the River Severn in the UK, but
the Severn River. Is that the one that caught fire back in the day, the factory days?
No. I think that's the Cuyahoga River near Cleveland.
Right, yeah. Who knows? So there was one up here in Massachusetts that did catch fire near a tannery, obviously.
Oh,
they're dumping the shit into the river. You know, I think it was near Woburn. In fact, I think that might have been what came of Tom Clancy's A Civil Action. Might have been based on that.
Really?
That whole with the event ended up, I believe, the kids getting cancer, higher amount than normal in one town, like say, like astronomically higher, 5,000% more or something. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to sue them. Yeah, and it was an epic failure. I believe that's what it was, unless I'm confusing a few things here, but I don't think I am.
If you want to read a fascinating, much more modern story of just official incompetence and criminal dishonesty, go look at the water crisis in Flint, Michigan. That's only like 10 years old or so.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty up to date on that. I listened to NPR on the way home just because the classic rock stations play mostly shit. So I go to NPR as my default. You know, oh, that song sucks. Back to NPR for 5 minutes, and they are very much on top of covering that in the water. You know, so much so that the people have to be careful taking showers because it's not transpermeable. But if kids drink a bunch of it, which a kid could be prone to do in the shower,
of course,
yeah, boom, lead poisoning.
Yep.
And to get the lead out of a human being, you have to do, I think it's called chelation therapy, and it is a very painful long-term
right. It's not. You don't want to go through lead poisoning.
Yeah, it fucks those kids up. Like adults, you'll get like slight memory loss, very tired, lethargic, that sort of thing. But kids with an undeveloped brain, it can be extremely problematic for their, final few years of brain development, which could really affect their IQ long term. It's crazy.
Maybe I'll use that as an excuse when I forget things.
Right. What I didn't understand is why it happened in the first place. Was it subpar construction pipes? Literally.
I don't remember exactly why. They switched water suppliers to save money. They were like getting it from Detroit, which was getting it from the lake. And they decided they could save money by getting it from the Flint River, but they didn't know what they were doing. They just pretended to know what they were doing, and they opened up some old pipes. And then when people said something's going wrong here, they then started to do the typical things. They covered up, they lied, they did everything, but solve the problem, admit the problem, protect the people in Flint. And
I recall about, that you just have to wait until this biofilm builds up on the inside of the pipes. That's going to be this level of protection. But I don't know. I never really heard of that as the thing you're relying on to keep lead out of your water is biofilm. But I think that was one of the excuses that they tried to perpetuate. But cool. What's the book you had mentioned about it?
I don't know. There's probably been a book written, but I've read various. I'm trying to remember where I read my stories about that, but it definitely wasn't a book.
It's just
multiple
different.
Multiple different online
documentaries.
Sources.
Yeah, sure, of course. How you doing there, Based Welshman? Good to see you.
Based Welshman. Based Welshman is based.
Yeah. Saw him on our boy Drone Tech's live show the other night. That was a good one.
I've not caught many of his shows.
They're good. You have to be on his Discord, and obviously, if you like and subscribe to him on YouTube, when he has a show, you'll be notified. Then you go to his Discord, and he shares you the link on the Discord, and you can join in live. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
He actually featured part of it in yesterday or the day before's 10-minute I keep freezing. Okay.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I thought it was me.
Interesting. All right. Let's try. I hope it's not. Okay.
I'm glad it's not me.
Yeah. Let's switch to the 5G.
You know, it's almost always YouTube's fault. So
Yeah, you're right. I should have plenty.
maybe nothing you could do about it.
All right. I'll not freak out about it then.
Good plan. Good plan.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what I just did. Okay, get me out of this screen. Jesus. Can I connect it? The 5G should be faster, right?
And all things being equal, if you're close enough and there's,
I'm on a
yeah.
I'm on a wire.
So then 5G is not relevant.
No,
on the wire.
5 gig. They call. There's 2 channels on the router, so one's 2.4 and one's 5 gigs. So I guess it's the speed is the 5.
That's just for wireless, though.
Okay, so it shouldn't matter on the wire. You're right.
On the wire, it shouldn't matter.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Unless, yeah, you're right. It's YouTube, so
yeah. It's always been YouTube. You know, when it happens on Hayden's show. So and there's absolutely no predicting when it happens. There's no understanding why it happens, and there's no fixing it once it happens. And sometimes it just stops happening too. So who knows?
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yep.
And here is Mr. Biscuit Vapes.
All right. I don't see him,
but still awake.
I don't see him on the screen.
No, but he is present.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Just stopped.
McGrand is there.
Yep.
Nope. Started again.
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing I can do.
Nah, it's not you.
How bad is it? Is it bad?
It freezes. It's annoying, but it's not as annoying as so many other things in my life.
Right. Yeah. All right. Shit, I wonder why it's happening. All right, no big deal. Just continue on. So, do you want to discuss the Mr. BBG blocking?
We could. It doesn't bother me at all. I just thought it was funny.
It is funny, and I kind of to be a little out of character for him. Maybe I'm ill-informed, but debates and a little bit of back and forth. Big ass Irishman. With strong opinions. You would think he'd.
Yeah, if if I make a smart ass negative comment and he blocks me, I think that's totally within his right.
Of course.
You might say it's a little thin-skinned, but who knows? He gets so much shit probably on a daily basis. I can't blame him for blocking some asshole like me when he feels like it.
You know what?
It is. I was surprised though.
But I had a fast charge contact charger right next to the laptop, charging my phone. You think that could have been doing some weird frequency thing?
It's possible. I wouldn't expect it though. That it would have to have enough interference to bleed over into the wires.
Right. Well, I just unplugged it. Let's see if it happens again.
Okay.
That could be a little clue. Yeah. Back to the Richie Allen thing. Yeah, you're right. It's well within his ability, and that's why Twitter does that. He doesn't want to deal. He might consider you to be a troll. He might not realize, the connection you might have on here. I'm sure he doesn't, because he barely even knows.
It amazes me. It would amaze me if he's kept track of my negative comments. I've probably made 4 over the last 6 months.
Right. I remember one when he was talking about either vax or masks, and you said something cool. I believe you called them in it, and I found it to be, completely fine. But
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's I'm not offended at all. It's,
Right.
I'm sure he deals with an unholy amount of shit.
Sure.
I actually, although I don't agree with almost anything he says, I think he does a great job. It's very important to give all these people who are censored and have no place to speak. He gives them a voice, and I really admire him for that, and I think it's very important.
Sure.
So I'm all for that, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna not say some negative shit when I see something I don't agree with. That's just the way it is, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I actually on Twitter, I don't often do. I just ignore shit if I don't
That's,
like it. You know.
you're a better person than I am. That's why.
No, no. I think it comes down to the fact that I don't really care as much as the average Joe might about a lot of shit that other people do. You know, I don't have much of a I have to defend this or that sort of a mentality. I guess I'm kind of like keep it at home, keep it in your shoe. You know, cover the family, and go from there. Good enough. You know.
Yeah.
But I do, obviously Hayden is pretty much 100% polar opposite of what I just said. He goes hog wild over anybody in the whole world. Just fucking, he hunts it down, because he likes to get into that sort of a thing.
So backstage boxing wants to know what did I say to him. So I forget what his post was today. He said something like, millions are going to die from the vaccine. And someone else posted and said just one word, evidence. And I responded to that someone else by saying, I know what his evidence is. Someone said something. And then he blocked me.
Yeah.
No, I put it in quotes. I said, some guy said something, unquote.
Right. Yeah, that's not really a blockable thing.
Well, it's I'm being an asshole. I if someone blocked me for that, I totally, I couldn't hold it against him too much, but I was surprised. It just seemed like he's just too big of a guy to even notice me, let alone block me. And maybe someone blocks people for him,
Yeah, he runs his Twitter, but I wouldn't be surprised if he had somebody else with access.
Yeah, neither would I. I mean, he's got a lot
doing
of
exactly what you just said.
He's got a lot of followers. He has to have someone help him manage, people like me.
Or the opposite. There could be somebody out there saying something extremely offensive that he would have to block immediately or whatever. So maybe he just has like a blanket statement of block anyone who does anything in this category. And yeah, what you did might have fallen into it,
Yep. Like I say, whatever. If he needs to block me, and that's totally okay, as long as he, he keeps doing his good work. That's totally fine with me.
Right. And he seems to he's quite a popular guy.
He is, yes.
And what he says, true or untrue, many people take it as practically the Holy Bible.
Yeah, that's a little scary. That's something that bothers me. I mean, it's the nature of things that people tend to be followers, and they follow charismatic people, and not that necessarily means they're wrong, right? I mean, some people know a lot of shit, but I find it it's a little scary when people have a following. It's a little cult in my mind.
Mm-hmm. Cup of tea, I'm not going to say that, but if that's your opinion, I don't know enough about him. You could say a similar thing about Howard Stern. Has Howard Stern really worked? No, he speaks into a microphone, but he's worth almost $1 billion for it. So I don't know. You don't necessarily have to be quote unquote working to work. I probably think that Richie actually works pretty. I don't think it comes easy. I mean,
No, I agree. I think he works hard.
yeah, he's not breaking fucking rocks, but he's putting in time.
Right,
you
right.
know?
I mean, none of this stuff comes for free, right?
Right.
You, if you got a lot of followers or flowers, it's because you've
Right.
worked hard
Right.
in some form or another.
Well, take for example. Oh, I don't know, me. This is the show that I have in my basement with an insanely loud fan that's always on. Half the time I'm not here, and so yeah, there's the example of someone who tries hard and is succeeding at this, and me, who I really don't give a crap, but I like doing it anyways, and so obviously he's putting effort in. He puts time. I think he's invested probably capital as well.
Yeah. And he's probably going through a lot of lean years, like a whole bunch. No, I would not. I would never suggest that he doesn't. He doesn't. He hasn't earned the following he has, and whatever that may be.
Have you seen the movie Private Parts?
I've read the book. I haven't seen the movie.
It's a great movie, great take, absolutely awesome insight into how Howard developed, and
Well, I love these outsized characters like Howard Stern, and
yeah,
I don't know, they're just kind of like nobody you ever know, but they're really out there.
yeah, he's awesome. I think he's found. Back in the day, I preferred his show a little bit more back then, but he does some good. His content now is a little more like. I don't know. It's a little different, but I don't know. The BCN days back in the, I guess it would have been late 90s in Boston, he was on fire. And then he stayed on, I think, when did he go to Sirius? Probably 2009, 8, something like that.
He made that network.
Mm-hmm.
They were nothing. They paid him a ton of money, and then they grew with him.
They paid him $500 million for 5 years.
That much? Wow.
Yeah, and that almost destroyed the company. But
yeah,
then they paired to stay alive. They paired with XM because there is only one now. At the time, you could order. I think Oprah was on XM and Stern was on Sirius, and then they just decided if we're going to pay these fucking whales, we have to be one. We need more money here,
right?
Because those two are God. It's crazy. Hey, let me bring in our own popular fella from the UK, Mr. Vapes.
All right, one of my favorites. Hey, Biscuit, how you doing?
I'm all right. Buddy? Just pouring my Senna Guinness.
Thanks for staying awake, joining us.
I got caught up watching. I don't know if you've ever watched it. It's a sci-fi show called Fringe.
Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes. Yeah, that's about 10, 15 years old now.
I think
20?
the latest episode was about 5 years ago.
Oh, I thought it was much older than that.
But I'm on 5th season now. It's quite good. No, just engrossed in it the last hour.
Fringe, it's called.
Yeah, Fringe. Yeah. It's basically about fringe science. Like people doing crackpot experiments, like changing humans into animals and stuff.
Oh, right, okay. So not so much cryptozoology as more like, doing like unethical experiments potentially.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, basically trying to make mind reading happen in humans and stuff like that, and like bioterrorism and things like this.
Oh yeah.
I think it was.
Basically, it's about the detective agency that like try and find out who's doing the things.
See you, Mr. Kill C1. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds cool.
I think Fringe was from one of the major U.S. networks. I think like CBS or Fox.
On Amazon Prime at the minute.
Oh, well, it definitely was originally on one of the U.S. networks. Am I imagining this whole thing? I'm going to go look it up now because you're making me crazy.
I wonder if it was a reverse copy, like we made it first and then the Brits remade it.
Premiered on the Fox network in September 2008.
There you
Yeah,
go.
and I'm actually wrong. The fifth season was 2012.
Yeah. All right.
So it's almost like
I just want to say
continuance of the X-Files.
I just want to say I was right and Biscuit was wrong.
Similar to X-Files, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But there's no aliens at all. Oh, no, there's no aliens in it.
Yep. X-Files was also great.
Yeah, she's a good follow on Twitter, Gillian Anderson. Try not to get blocked, though, Last Dance.
Okay. Well, I
actually follow Gillian Anderson on Twitter.
Yeah, she still looks good, man. She's holding up well. She's an attractive lady.
She did some fantastic series set in Ireland. She was like a prosecutor or an investigator of some serial killer. I mean, this show was just absolutely tense and taut the whole time. You were holding your breath for like.
It was very similar to Broadchurch, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, but it was a little more, even more kind of tense. But she was just, I mean, she's a very good actress amongst everything else. She was, you see her with, on the X-Files and you think, it's just another pretty face, right?
It's not a best role.
No.
Acting-wise, but it's probably her most famous.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, now going on here with... I have this little indicator on the screen. It says connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, plug in your router or move closer. And yeah, that's not good. So what the hell is going on here? But this
weird. Are you using like a laptop?
Yes.
Are you also connected to Wi-Fi on the laptop as well as with the wire, or did you turn off your Wi-Fi? Uh-oh.
Have we lost Steve? Oh no, he's there.
I can hear you, Biscuit.
Okay, I'm back. Okay. Here I am.
Yeah, it's working now.
Okay, you're right. There was some kind of I had the Wi-Fi still on, even though it was indicating I was on a wired setting. I might have been going through the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So I have to actually make sure the Wi-Fi is off. I thought that plugging the thing in would override the Wi-Fi instantaneously, but apparently it didn't.
It's supposed to, but not always.
I would think it would too, but who knows, really.
This particular time, it seemed to be causing a problem. So let's see if that did it. I think it did.
Well, it sounds better. I'll tell you that.
Now.
Oh, mother trucker. Now I know. God, it's a learning process, man.
It's not. Don't blame yourself. It's just shitty software. Why should you have to do that?
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking back to the first time I went on with Hayden, and I think our old friend Natalie was on the show at the time. It was the pub.
Uh-huh.
I might have been the first, because Natalie was actually doing a radio show. I might have been the first just guy from the chat who went live, and I had sunglasses and a hat on and shit. I was a total idiot. And within 5 minutes, they were like, "Take the sunglasses and hat off, dude. What are you doing?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't even know why I did that. It was freaking dumb, man." The Unabomber. I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" What the fuck? But different times. I had no idea. Obviously, at that point, I'd be doing this now. It's just totally. That would have been a year ago, probably. February? Is that when they started doing the pubs and shit?
I don't remember.
February last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, for you guys, is that when your lockdown really started getting heavy?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
You know,
The year's gone by so quickly. It only feels like it's been like 4 or 5 months.
yeah. I mean, last fall when we would walk at the beach, half of the people were wearing masks, and like obviously avoiding each other, and just like in the summer, like people were trying to stay apart. This year, there's no masks anymore. Everyone's like partying down at the beach, and yeah, it was just a strange year yet last year. And personally, at the time, I always thought, you're outside, there's a breeze, there shouldn't be a problem, right?
Well, it's getting even worse. Well, we're trying to make it seem to be getting worse. Like we've got another wave, but personally, I don't see it because yes, people are getting it, but they're not going to hospital and dying. So that's not another wave to me.
It's younger people, that's why. It's the younger people who I think they're fairly healthy are getting it, and then they're getting a little sick and then getting better, you know?
We had something like 15,000 people get the virus in, like yesterday.
Now we have
before it was like in the hundreds.
Mr.
Really?
Hey, Mr. Topple.
I can't tell who it is. Is that who it is?
It's you.
I'm wearing my hat with my sunglasses.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
I always said that hat and sunglasses are really bad disguise. You can see right through them.
Yeah, especially if somebody really dresses like that all the time. It's not a disguise. You're like, hey, that's you.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, dude?
Not much.
Doing all right.
How's that pool? Crystal clear, like you can't even see water, or what? Nice. That's pretty good, man. Nice and blue, no green. That's awesome.
Nah. I haven't even used so much shock this year. It's kind of it's been in it nonstop too. So
do you test
not complaining. Every day.
Really?
Yeah, about 3 times a day if needed.
See, I haven't tested mine yet. I just shock it and it looks good and I'm done. Clean the filter.
The pH gets out and then everything gets screwy. So I always make sure the pH is right.
You buy one of those little pH pens that are like, $20 on Amazon, battery operated.
Nah, I got
the strips. You do the strips.
Yeah, I got this crap.
Yeah, those work.
Yeah, like the little window stuff.
Yeah. You can get a really sweet one on Amazon for under $20 that has a digital readout. You dip it in the water and it tells you the pH.
I'm good with dropping drops.
Okay.
That's like $20 right there, and that gets me through the season.
Using litmus testing.
Yeah, it is litmus. You're right. Old chemistry days.
All right. Well, I got my final vaccination last Friday. I was out of commission for 4 days. Sick as a dog.
Which one? Moderna?
Moderna.
Everyone who gets Moderna gets sick, dude.
First, I got the shot. The next day, high fever, body aches all over, just slept. And I had to work. That was the worst part. Really? So I'm stuck in traffic, falling asleep in and out. So it wasn't good. The next day was Sunday, body aches, tiredness, but I could work. And then Monday, on my way to work, puked right in my truck. I don't know what happened. Went home, slept for 5 hours, and I felt great again. So
weird. Yeah, I got the Pfizer. I had nothing but a few extra vivid dreams, possibly. But besides that, I had nothing.
I maintain that was just a very good batch of weed.
No, yeah, it could have been. I mean, I smoke the same stuff every time practically. So
speaking of dreams, I had a really weird one last night. My grandma died about 4 years ago, and I dreamt that I was in her house making her some like fried eggs and toast.
That is weird.
But she was, because she was dying of cancer when she died. It was like at the stage when she was like really poorly, and I like helped her cut her own toast in my dream, but she was getting really angry because she couldn't cut it properly, and that was a really weird dream to have.
Yeah, that is out of
Weird.
Out of left field, huh? Crazy. Yeah, interesting. All right, let's go ahead and add another. Maybe some people would say he's not an Englishman. He is a Welshman, base Welshman.
Oh.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, based Welshman, how you doing? So your sound is not great.
Is it?
Just turn my volume up so I can hear him a bit better.
It's all right. Now it's not me who's technically deficient, so pass the buck down to you. All right, we got a weird click and a weird like stopping going on every time you say a word Welshie. It's like bup. It doesn't
exactly.
It's not smooth. It's interference of some sort.
I'll come out and come back.
Oh, that is a fucked up thing, isn't it? Huh.
It's like it's getting chopped up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Hibachi. The hibachi effect. So what's going on there, QWERTY? What's the word?
No, I actually have a weekend off. My son is down the shore or at the beach. So for his birthday, he wanted his room did over. So I did the whole paint, add LED strips all around the border of it, get a new game desk, bed, and all that set up for him. So
cool.
Happy birthday.
That's a nice setup.
I just bought a bunch of LED lights for around the pool. Trying to figure out how to put them on right now. Well, tomorrow on Father's Day. So,
is he? Did you get him like a PS5, or is that's the big one right now?
Well, the thing is, his birthday's actually in February, and he wanted the new Xbox, but I couldn't get my hands on it. I'm like, as soon as I do, I'll get it. Still haven't got it. And he comes to me. He's like, "Can I just do my room over? I want a futon. I want this." And I'm like, "Well, futon for your friends to sleep over. I know." And he want LED strip lights, which I put them up today. They're really pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
It actually tunes into your phone, and you can play music, and it goes off the beat of it. So
cool.
It's really cool.
He probably knows if he lets it go too far, he's going to lose it altogether. So he's like, I might as well get the room redone out of this.
Yeah.
By the time next birthday comes around, then
he wanted jet black the walls and the ceiling. I'm like, I'm like, in 4 years, you better be moving your ass out of here. I'm not painting that back. So I'm hoping in 6 years the house is up for sale and I'm out of here. So
no kidding, huh? What, are you moving to the country?
We have a place down in Fort Lauderdale, which I don't want either. I'm looking more South Carolina. We're only up here for the kids' education, and we're next to CHOP, the Children's Hospital, Philadelphia, one of the best children's hospitals. So rather pay high taxes and everything while I'm here, make my money up here, and then go down south with it.
Good for you.
So,
yeah, Florida's a great place, man. A lot of fun. A little too hot in the summer, but
well, that's what South Carolina. I'm looking like around there somewhere. And I want to be like an hour away from the beach, so it's not that long of a ride. So
sure. Sounds killer. All right, let's go ahead and try Welshie again. What's up, brother?
Same thing. Exactly the same.
Shit. Sorry, Welshie. Sorry, bro.
Just
That's kind of funky. I almost like it.
I mean, I can't see how that could that be. That doesn't seem like an internet thing. It almost seems like I don't know,
like
microphone signal.
Yeah.
You got a walkie-talkie there, Welsh, with a really long range. I can use my walkie-talkie here and can put it to my microphone.
Oh yeah, that's funny. That's actually logical. Give him your phone number and he can call you.
I bought a pair of walkie-talkies so that I can call my daughter in for her dinner because she keeps buggering off around.
I would almost like to try that just for the shits and grins. I mean, that would be funny if it worked.
When I first turned it on, someone started talking from somewhere around here. I was like, "Oh shit! Someone else has got some same band."
Biscuit, how old's your daughter?
She's 10.
Does she have a cell phone yet?
No, she's not having one. That's why I bought walkie-talkies so I can call her in for dinner.
When you planning to break down and give her a cell phone?
She's got a tablet and a laptop. That's what she's having. Does she go
out?
Yeah, she goes out and plays it on front.
Oh, okay.
In cul-de-sac. Well, she just calls for her friends on the street.
Oh, you're in a cul-de-sac?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I wish I lived in one of those. They usually have the best neighbors.
It's not a narrow cul-de-sac either. It's like a triangle with a field in the middle.
Oh, cool. Nice. Old school with like a park.
Does she play any sports?
Not really a park. It's only tiny, but say again.
Does she play any sports, cheerlead, or anything?
She used to do dancing and also scouts.
Cool.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
It's not too bad. It was only £2 a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a niece that
The
does
dancing
cheerleading.
was expensive. The dancing was £25 a month.
I have a niece that does cheerleading, and they have to go to Florida. They got to go all around and compete. And it's 5 days. I'm like, she's gonna have no legs.
I didn't let her do it competing. I just let her do it, like once a week.
Smart man.
And I used that 2 hours to go pub for a pint.
Cool. Have you gone out since they've opened back up?
No.
Biscuit?
No. She's not going back till I get fit enough to be able to take her again.
Okay, I got you. Cool. So that's
until then, I'll just take her on my bike to the park and whatnot. She can do what she wants there.
Sure. Cool. So your focus is working on that. That's cool.
That's it. Yeah.
Good man. Like it. Who's got the bird? Is that you?
It's got to be Topple.
I think it's just outdoor birds, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, you're no birds. Oh, yeah, it's me.
I think that might have been a northern cardinal. A lot going on there.
I finally got a video of my bird talking today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, what did he say?
Said words like kiss and coffee.
Sounds like the start of a knock-knock joke.
Right.
He said kiss, kiss, coffee, cracker.
Wow, he's racist.
He
racist. What the fuck?
I think he likes the sound of the k words.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's okay for a parrot to say cracker over and over again. That's totally.
I think he was talking about the actual the biscuit cracker.
Oh yeah, I know. I hear you.
Not the white trash cracker.
I hear you, brother. I know. Polly want a cracker. It's the oldest.
That's correct. Yeah. Except he doesn't say Polly or Casper, which is his name.
Casper, because he's white.
No, he's green. It's because he's friendly.
Oh, right. That's hilarious. That's the first thing they say. Casper, the friendly ghost, right?
That's it, yeah.
They don't say Casper, the white ghost. So yeah,
no,
that makes sense.
Oh, by the way, here's another story.
Is it still the same, lads?
That's much
Say
better.
again?
Is this still the same, the sounds?
No, it's good.
It's better now, yeah.
Very good.
Okay, I'm using my headset, but I can't really hear you, but as long as you can hear me.
But my dog had a altercation last week.
Yes.
A little Jack Russell chewed his face.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
How's
I
he
saw
doing?
He's a lot better now, but his face was like balled up, like swollen up.
You take him
Jack
to the
Russell's
vet?
a little bastard.
He was fine after 2 days. Like after one day, it started going down, so I didn't bother.
Or usually with
But,
bite marks in the mouth, you want to get antibiotics for them.
Yeah, but out on the street, they were all saying that my dog had killed the other dog because my dog was covered in blood. But it turned out the other dog had literally just nicked its inside of its mouth with my dog's tooth while it was trying to rip its face off. And all the blood on him was his own.
So I guess all your neighbors are scared of your dog.
Yeah. But he didn't. I don't think he made it look good when after the dog had bit his face, my dog had grabbed the other dog by its head and threw it across the road.
Self-defense.
That's it.
Did he get a good beating on the Jack Russell, or was it
No,
like
he
tit for
threw
tat,
it across,
or?
he only threw it across the road to get it away from him.
Yeah, I mean, Jacks can be nasty, but for the most part, you can control them usually. This thing must be a real little bastard.
Well, the thing is, they don't ever put it on a lead. They haven't got the fence is too wide apart to keep him in the garden. My daughter only was taking him round on path for a quick walk, and that Jack Russell just came up and bit him on face.
Wow, that's nuts. Ballsy little thing too, because your dog's probably.
Jack Russells aren't scared. They won't back. Like my rat terrier's the same way. They don't see size. Was your dog like venturing close to his property? Like was it territorial thing?
Well, when he came out, I think my dog went up to sniff that dog, and because it were a bitch, it attacked him.
Your dog's probably twice the size of it, right?
It was about 4 times the size.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy, yeah.
Can I throw in a little bit of a curveball here, chaps? Just
sure,
absolutely.
Shoot.
Let her rip. And go.
In here as well, she.
Yeah, Jack Russells have definitely a little bit of the Napoleon Bonaparte in them for sure. I've known 2 in my life, very close to them, and I love those dogs. They were good dogs, so they're very smart.
Good companion.
My auntie had a Jack Russell who was lovely with adults, but put her near a child and she was vicious.
Jesus, that's the terrier.
I had a pit bull.
However, put my dog near a child. It's the softest little thing in the world.
That's what I was saying. I had a pit bull that did the same thing.
Yeah.
Loved children, loved everything. The only problem was anybody crossing our threshold of our house, threshold of the door. That's where she would get protective.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't attack, but she would let you know that she was there.
Now, my dog, if you cross my threshold, he'll come up and lick you, maybe jump on you. But if you hold your fist up at anybody, he'll attack you.
Okay. Will he protect your daughter over you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've done it before. I've pretended to put my fist up, and he'll bite my fist.
Right. So you'll like pretend to jostle with her, and he'll come charging right at you.
He doesn't care about anything else other than clenched fists.
Oh, no
if he sees a clenched fist, he'll bite it.
Cool. What do we have here?
Probably not a big fan of the Black Panthers, then.
What? Eh?
1,000 based Welshmen.
Still the one, lads. Sorry.
There you are. You're back. That's clear. Welsh.
We can hear you, or at least we heard that. Based Welshman.
I think he can't hear us. Can you hear us, Based?
Just about.
Cool.
Quiet.
Both voice.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
I
loud
can
and
hear you
clear.
perfectly fine.
Okay. Do you mind if I throw this curveball in and
Go,
about the vaccines?
go right
Shoot.
ahead.
Okay, so there's been an NHS report released to show that the 42 deaths with the Indian variant, or now they like to call it the Delta variant,
Ooh,
out of that 42, 30% of the deaths were people who have been double vaxxed. And I'll get the article up now. It turned out that 50% of the people that died either had one vax or two.
hey, Steve, can you kill off one of the based Welshmen?
I'm not
He's on-
sure. I'm not sure which is the good one.
Well,
Oh, you just
I did that.
I can put the article in the side chat for you. And it's NHS.
I think they're both the same now, so just kill one. Doesn't matter which one.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yep.
Welsh, can you keep talking?
Yeah, I can, mate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Work
you're
out
good.
which one's
Good.
which.
You're there.
Well, hopefully there'll come a point when 100% of the people that die have been vaxxed, but there'll only be a very small amount of them.
Yeah, but biscuit. If 100 of the if 100% of the people are victims have been double vaxxed, what's the fucking point of the vax?
Because there'll only be like 50 people that die,
Exactly.
and not hundreds of thousands that die.
Well, so far, 50%
Exactly.
of the people that have died on the Delta variant, right, have been either single or double vaxxed.
Yeah, because 80% of our adult population are double vaxxed.
Yeah, but don't you
Well,
like, look for the definition of a vaccine?
I guess you have
And
to.
we're not starting that again.
Not this
baseball.
again.
You have to look at the greater numbers here. Is it hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of deaths, hundreds, or are we talking in under 100 here? So
We're talking like 50, 60 deaths.
that's what I'm saying. So at some level, the vaccine appears to be achieving its desired effect, being less people dying and going to the hospital, even though the end result, you might have some smaller numbers with odd percentages. The overall greater picture is what we're looking at. Does that make
That's all right. So it's actually very good news that only 50 or 60 people are dying, not
Okay, nearly 30% of the dying with Delta virus variants of COVID are double vaccinated. Data shows that vaccinations are not 100% effective. No shit, Sherlock, says experts.
No vaccine has ever been 100% effective.
correct.
None. Not smallpox, not polio, nothing. Not
But
100%.
it's very high. It's very high. Now, this gene therapy, because it's not a vaccine, it's a gene therapy, right, is clearly not effective.
By your own numbers, it's clearly very effective.
Well, I mean,
how can you come to that when 30% of the deaths from this new variant are people that have been double vaxxed? Can you justify the
Because
comment?
you're looking at a percentage, not the whole number.
Sorry?
You're looking at a percentage of a very small number compared to what the large numbers were in the previous.
In the pre-vaccination times,
yes.
you could say. So since vaccination has started, is it true that infections and deaths numbers have gone down? At least that's what we're led to believe, correct?
Well, it works like parallel. If you test loads of people, you'll get loads of positives, because the PCR test, they're renowned for giving very high false positives. So if you it's like, if you test loads of people, you're going to get loads of positives.
Yeah,
because with the PCR test, that's what they do. They give loads of positives.
I personally know two people who got the quick test, came up positive, and in order to continue what they were trying to do, they had to get the good test, wait the 2 days, and both times came back negative because what they were looking for was a negative test so they could do something, licensure or whatever class. But when it came down to it, they thought, well, fuck it, I'll do the hour test and they'll be fine. But it turns out both of the hour tests gave them positives. And then, like I just said, 2 days later on the proper test, they got negatives. So
That's right.
that happens. And I know it happened. And I don't know a lot of fucking people. So
The inventor for the PCR test said that they're not to be used to identify viruses. It's all on Google.
I don't care.
yeah, and there was
But he's
probably
the inventor, and he said Dr. Fauci's a con man.
That
And he
is
was
not how
seriously
science
died last
works.
year.
Base Welshman, do you have a science background at all?
No. But
Well,
I just.
but you have a background in something, like, you know.
Well,
it's
you know it's a gene therapy, don't you? You know it creates spike protein.
RNA, RNA spike protein. Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
the phrase gene therapy is meaningless in the way you're using it.
What it does is the spike proteins cause an immune response, I believe.
Yes, it's
And
basically correct.
is it the Oxford?
Zeneca.
Yeah, AstraZeneca. The AstraZeneca is nothing more than just dead virus that gives your body
Right.
Flu shot.
the data. Yeah, like a flu shot. It gives the data to your body so it can make antibodies.
See, that was what the Johnson & Johnson was. The other type was the Moderna and the Pfizer, which
Which was
States.
RNA vaccines.
correct, different altogether. And
Yes.
apparently they were pushing and telling us that the Moderna and the Pfizer were 94 and 95%, whereas the J&J was just a hair under 70. And I don't know what AstraZeneca was.
Two AstraZenecas are supposed to be like 80%.
Yeah, so, and you were down and out for like a while from that shit biscuit.
I was,
You
but
were hurt.
I still think that I just got a bit of cold or flu or whatever at the same time.
Yeah, that, you know, what's really
Because I did get bad from first injection for 1 day, but then I was fine for about a week, and then I got ill again.
It's so weird, man. I've heard some weird shit with stuff like that. People having delayed reactions or whatever.
But I think it was just my poor diet. It was nothing to do with it. Could have been partly, but my poor diet didn't help.
Well,
Yeah.
I like to look at myself as healthy, and I went through hell those 3 days, though.
Right.
My wife was planning to get it. She backed down. She ain't getting it. And she was going to get the Pfizer one, so that way when we find out in 5 years, one's going to kill you quicker than the other one.
Yeah.
That way, one of us will die quicker than the other one, so that the other one can take care of the kids.
Right.
you know,
Conspiracy, but that's
Buck's Corp brings up that you know, there's so much censorship of people, even doctors, to people who have, you know, the credentials are totally legit. There's so much censorship of them if they say anything that is, you know, 1 or 2% out of line of some kind of official narrative, and it's very dangerous. You know, people.
If you want to cite any actual true facts and figures that go against vaccines, is what they said about cigarettes. What was it? 30 years ago, 40 years ago, that there is no bad health defects from smoking cigarettes. And the America went with that for years. I think it was until like 25 years ago they kept saying that it doesn't cause cancer.
Well, the Surgeon General said it did in 1970 or 1969. So that's 51 years ago.
That's the British who said that, wasn't it?
No, it's the U.S. Surgeon General.
Oh, right, okay, but the government didn't allow it, did they? They just kept saying there's no negative health benefits.
No, that was the official statement of the government.
Was it?
Yes.
I was told different.
Well, you were told wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, the virus is new. The vaccines are extremely new. Knowledge is changing every day, and this effort by YouTube and Twitter and all these Silicon Valley things censorship to prevent medical misinformation will probably kill people, because it will prevent any sort of new information that disagrees with existing government party lines from appearing. And it's also stupid, because it assumes that people can't decide for themselves, and that the marketplace of ideas can't work. I don't understand. That's insane. That's the basis of Western civilization. And all of a sudden it's not good enough. And it's a mistake, because history is replete with examples of things that are thought to be the state of the art of knowledge on day X, and 10 days later things are vastly different. We've had the same thing happen during this pandemic. We've been told that you don't wear masks. That was at the beginning. Don't wear masks, and just the opposite is now what we're told. But if you had said, in the beginning, the government's wrong, go ahead and wear masks, you'd be banned, and it would be wrong. So it's insane to, applying that same standard would have produced bad results a year ago. Well, how could you?
I think that was one of Fauci's major downfalls, was the fact that he didn't just tell people, just stay apart and leave the masks for the medical folks. And when we have enough for everybody, we're going to we'll be advising you to wear them then. So don't go out and buy masks.
Masks are useless.
To a point.
Well, they are. The virus
no.
is so small, it goes through any mask under a 95. It'll go through any mask, anyone. If you have a mask on more than 2 minutes, any virus in the air will definitely get clogged in between, and then you touch it with your finger and thumb all the time. Every 20 seconds.
It's correct.
Well, if somebody's hacking an aerosol of COVID germs into the air, there's no way a mask will stop that. But if somebody, what Fauci called them was, in the chance that somebody has what he called gross droplets, which I think is a scientific term, even though it is literally fucking gross. But
disgusting.
Yeah, gross droplets. Those will get stopped in the mask, and anything that's in them will. But
when you're talking to somebody, exactly, face to face, you talk, you spit sometimes comes out.
Right.
That's what the masks were really good for. But what you're saying, like if you sneeze somewhere and everyone around you walked in that radius, they were not going to be protected. How small it was. So,
well, it can actually get into your eye ducts and whatnot, can't it?
They can.
Who told us it was asymptomatic? Who told us that?
Was it Fauci?
No, it was the Chinese. So we took the CCP's word for it. Now I've got Fauci, right, on tape about a year before any talking about coronaviruses, because it was all a fucking setup. You know that, chaps from the Wuhan lab, don't you? Let's not bullshit each other. Let's not bullshit each other. Oh, it was bats. They've been eating fucking bats and all sorts of shit for fucking hundreds and thousands of years, right? No, it was fucking 3 miles from the Wuhan lab. That's fucking why.
Dude, I saw some pictures on a website the other day of bats in cages. One scientist
I'm not denying it.
One scientist had a bat on his hat while he's wearing a mask.
You've got to understand that the personnel from the Wuhan lab were were ill with symptoms in September that year. You know, just think about it. The biggest plant for viral diseases in China. There's 150 provinces in China. It's fucking massive. It's the Wuhan lab, and no shit. We got shit coming from Wuhan. Oh, that's a shock. It's the bats.
Even if it did come from the Wuhan lab, it's undeniable that it's originated in the bat.
Yeah.
What?
Well, that doesn't mean that it's still a lab leak.
It's not. It hasn't originated from a bat. They've never proved that at all.
They has bat DNA in the actual virus. It started from bats.
It didn't start from bats, mate.
It did.
This is just put into context, right? It's the most technical place, biological lab in China. There's 147 provinces in China, okay? And it just so happens that a load of shit happens in Wuhan, like 4 mile from the lab. That's what they reckon, that this wet market was literally down a fucking road from the Wuhan viral laboratory.
I'm not positing that it definitely came from the Wuhan wet market. I'm positing that possibly the labs took
the reason why it's never been proven, Biscuit, because they can't find patient one. They can't find patient one. They're still not find patient one. The WHO went into China licking their ass like they normally do the CCP. It was literally a 2-week fucking jolly for them. There was no investigating going on. They've never found patient one. And until they find patient one, they can't fucking tell you where it came from.
Well, every day that goes by that becomes infinitely less likely that they're ever going to find him. And in addition to that,
I was saying it was the Wuhan lab in February, March of last year. People calling you conspiracy theorists, Biscuit, do your research, mate. Check it up now.
Now let me.
I've already done my research. I know that it DNA wise, it came.
Trump was right with the hydrochloroquine.
Whether the virus came from the lab to humans, they took the virus from the bat.
You know what? You guys might be both agreeing if you just listen for a moment.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is maybe the place that the virus did most easily exist was in bats, and
that's right.
They used the bat as some sort of a like a culture to harbor this coronavirus.
It's an experiment.
Yeah, because
bats are £1 million to the Wuhan lab.
Bats are well known to harbor coronaviruses, and that is a place of concern for pandemics.
Yes. And there's over 30 labs in the world fucking around with coronaviruses to this day. Labs in North Korea, labs in Iran, right? There's shit going on all over the world.
Labs in the West.
What they're fucking around with, then you might understand that they're fucking around all around the world with shit like this.
Well, let's not forget, this is SARS-2. We all remember there was SARS, which was pretty damn scary. And there was also MERS. Now, that MERS has almost a 30% mortality rate, but its transmissibility rate is very minor compared to SARS-2 COVID. So what a virus wants is to spread and keep people alive, not kill everybody, and stay living, and that's why they keep mutating. It's a scary thing because they'll keep going and going. They can
without
change.
The asymptomatic, without that, this wouldn't be the pandemic, right? Because we've taken advice from China again, the world has, and Fauci has actually said that coronaviruses, if you're asymptomatic, you're very rarely to spread it. He's already said this a couple of years ago, but now with corona, he's thrown all what he said publicly before, and now with this corona, he's believed the Chinese to say asymptomatic people spread it. And a couple of years previous, he said that doesn't happen. And the medical industry, they basically said that if you're asymptomatic, you're very rarely to spread it. So you need to be coughing and ill to spread it.
Well, yeah, let's just say you're highly unlikely. There's a chance if you're got this virus all over everything that you could get people sick. But unless you're really projecting it out there,
that has crippled the world.
Oh yeah,
because everyone thinks you can spread it and it's in the air, it's completely airborne, and I mean, we all thought you were going to collapse like we were in China. We've seen the footage in China where people just falling over on the pavement. Bullshit.
right.
And like in India recently, 2 months ago, it was just flat out India. I haven't heard fuck all from India for 2 months. Why is that? Why am I having nothing from India? Well, that's right. The Indian government said we haven't got an Indian variant. You're lying, and that's why they've called it Delta, because the Indian government threatened to sue the WHO and fucking cause chaos because there isn't an Indian variant and there isn't a Nepali variant either from Nepal. There's not even one of those variants because they've already stepped up.
I'd love to know where your science degree comes from, so you could actually show us where you actually tested these viruses to prove that there is no other variant.
Got one, Biscuit? Have you got one?
No, but I know that flu changes 6 times a year. Therefore, it's possible. Even
okay, so you know why you stuck in your body then, don't you? You know why you stuck in your body. Do you know how many deaths that's caused in the UK according to NHS statistics?
What?
Say that again.
1,300 people have died from the vaccines in the UK so far, with over 900,000 health adverse effects.
I don't think 1,300 people in the world have died from the vaccine.
I didn't say that. NHS stats. I said the UK, mate. 1,300. 13,000 in Europe have been killed on the vaccine.
I don't think so.
Oh, mate. Look, how can I not put a link in the side chat?
I don't know.
Because I'm trying to put a link in the side chat and it's not letting me do it.
No. Yeah, it deletes them right away. You have to have a blue wrench like me. And I can't give out blue wrenches. I just have a blue wrench. Got a blue wrench.
Well, I've got the information here. It's called NHS or it's called .gov. That's the stats I'm using, Biscuit.
Hey, Welsh, are you on Twitter, dude?
Yeah. I just had 1 million views on one of my tweets.
All right, let's look you up. What's your at?
Same name. I'd done a video the other day and it just went viral as fuck. It's had 1 million views.
That is awesome, man.
It's one with Piers Corbyn pulling the stickers off the tube wall.
You're based Welshman 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Biscuit, mate. Honestly, mate, I'm talking about NHS stats.
Videographer, activist. That's you. All right. Wow, look at this guy. Whoa.
Biscuit.
Yeah.
Are you willing to do the research though?
I do the research all the time. I'm on my computer 24. Well, not 24/7, but I'm on my computer all day.
Go on Google.
It's extremely unlikely to be true. One thing, finding a cause of death.
Of vax people dead on the Delta variant. See what comes up. BBC.
I would believe you if you said worldwide there was 1,300 people died of the vaccine.
Well, I wouldn't believe that either.
Mate, look, I'm not lying to you. 1,300 people in the UK have died. 13,000 people in Europe have died. These are EU.
Have they died of the vaccine, or have they just died of old age?
No, Biscuit. What he's saying is that people after they've taken the vaccine have died.
This is
not from the vaccine.
Is he on about these people that died of brain aneurysms with the vaccine?
Oh, fucking grow up, Biscuit. These are .gov. These are NHS.
It's NHS.gov saying this information.
NHS stats is our National Health Service. So they've actually admitted on their yellow card. It's called a yellow card, and I'll bring it up now. I'll have to dictate it to you. I can't drop links in for some crazy reason. So
I think Smokesteve's on it right now.
Okay.
All right.
So let me just get you the EU one. I guess I screenshot that earlier on. 13,867 have died on.
See what you're
saying.
Wait,
I got distracted by X Hamster. What am I looking for again?
That's how you real still.
Hold on. Okay. Statistics. NHS.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put it in a tweet now. Okay,
Here.
and then you can pull it off there, Steve, and you can share it to wherever you want to share it to.
Tweet it away.
Okay.
I don't know. Can I put links in this? I think I can. I don't know.
I don't know. I can't.
Well, we'll see. Aphid's a little update. The poor guy, he lost power. Major storm blew through. He lost power. Trees are down.
Ooh.
He had to run inside with his blanket, or whatever else he had outside in the yard.
House generator.
19 laptops, iPads, and devices he sets up around him, probably in the pool.
That's right. They were going to get pounded today. That's heading towards us.
Yeah, he's so I don't know. He literally said, I'll try to call in on the phone. Obviously, he meant his cell phone, probably not Wi-Fi, which would be fine. I'd like an update from the old boy because he might be out next weekend. And this is kind of a half-ass show. I do apologize. Next week will be...
I got some numbers from May, 14th of May. It says 1,102 overall have died a short while after getting the vaccine.
That sounds about right. These
are not...
That's a month earlier.
These are not...
So that would make sense.
These are not vaccine deaths.
Correct.
And the number is in line with how many we would expect from other causes in that time period.
Exactly.
Okay.
There's a very...
You
can listen. For a second. There's a very well-known fallacy that's been known since ancient times. I think it's called post hoc ergo propter hoc or something like that in Latin. But it says, if something happens if X happens after Y, the assumption is that Y caused X. Sometimes Y does cause X, but you can't assume that.
Okay. Biscuit. If you want to go on my Twitter page, I've just put the NHS stats up, and I put the EU stats up. Okay, so this is the NHS admitting.
Right here, right? Based.
Yeah. Exactly. Remember, they vaxxed like 50 million people. All right. So it's within. It's not like a huge number. Right, but there's been 1,300 people, according to the NHS, that have died, and 800,000 people have had health impact event after having the jab.
But that's not what you said. You said it was caused by the jab.
Right, health impact events is what they call people that have problems after the vaccine. They do not die. That's a health impact event.
But that doesn't mean it was caused by the vaccine.
Impact event. And 1,300 have died, and the NHS have booked it.
So what the hell is Eurodravigilance, the European Medicine Agency? I don't even know. Europeans Medicines Agency, Science, Medicines, Health. Is that
there's 500 million people in Europe. So if you try and work it out, the deaths might even, there's 13,000 deaths. I don't know whether they vaxxed, but
I don't know how to explain this to you, but just because someone gets sick after the vaccine doesn't mean the vaccine caused their sickness. It's that simple.
Right.
You've also got to understand that people in the 80s and 90s and near hundreds was given vaccines at this time.
That's all I watch. That's all I watch on Telegram is 30-year-old people shaking in hospitals and have burns all down their arms and legs and have swellings over their bodies. Right? And I watch them. And
I fully accept that there are people who have...
These are healthy people that are having literal shakes, continual shakes. Right? They're not 80-year-old people.
That sounds like a little allergic reaction.
And they're dying.
That's right. Yeah, I think some of these vaccines were produced in egg yolks, and people who are allergic to eggs can have allergic reaction.
There's also propylene glycol in there, which is an allergic thing. So this says COVID-19 vaccine adverse drug reaction numbers: 13,867 dead. Now that's saying from the adverse drug reaction.
Yeah, a reaction.
100.
gene therapy.
1,354,000 injuries through June 2021. And that is Moderna, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and Janssen, which I'm not familiar with.
That Johnson and Johnson, not Johnson.
It says Janssen.
I think. Oh, is there another
Janssen.
one called Hansen?
Janssen.
I think
Johnson.
that's the same. That's the same thing as the Johnson.
Oh, right. Okay.
Johnson one.
I mean, assuming those numbers are correct, so that's 13,000 dead, and I don't know how many hundreds of million that took it. So, it's,
Well, they're not forcing you in the UK, are you? Are you forced to get the vaccination?
No, you're not forced to get it, but
well, unless you're a healthcare worker,
yes, actually, that's true.
They're going to make it mandatory for healthcare workers. They're not going to make it mandatory.
They say if you're a healthcare worker, you either get the job or you lose your job.
And then they'll make it mandatory if you're a bus driver, and then they'll make it mandatory if you breathe.
You've got to also look at it at the from the perspective of the people who live in care homes. If you're going in there and you're not protected,
they should be clear.
But you still can get COVID when you're vaccinated, though.
Oh,
that's the thing. So why are we forcing people?
I think it's just because less people get COVID with the vaccine.
Is that a fact, though?
I don't know what. I will, in this rare occasion, say I don't know what the facts are.
Okay.
But that's what they're saying.
So why are we forcing healthcare workers over in the UK to get them?
Because the vaccines don't work. Because 30% of all deaths on the Delta variant are deaths from people that have been double vaxxed.
You know,
them numbers don't matter.
Can I ask you a question, Cordy?
So is the Delta variant in the UK at the moment? Sorry, Steve, but is the Delta variant the major variant, this so-called variant at the moment? The Timbuktu variant or whatever they're going to Bognor Regis variant. Isn't that the major variant, this Delta one, the Indian stroke Delta variant? And you're telling me those figures don't matter?
Yeah, that's interesting. Let me ask you this, Cordy. If somebody is severely immune compromised, say they're in the hospital, they're getting radiation, for example, or chemotherapy or whatever.
Okay.
And they have a close care health worker that's with them. Like nurses probably do 12 on, 12 off with those types of patients. So they're there. Yeah. And they're like intensive care, maybe 3 or 4 patients per nurse. So would you say that healthcare worker should not be mandatory to get the vax with working with such a sensitive care person?
It shouldn't matter. It's up to that care worker, because regardless of the fact, you still can get COVID with the vax.
But
you're not protecting.
Greg, didn't you have to have a vax because of the hospital?
Well, that's me being an asshole that I could show a card to get into a hospital. I really don't. I don't. It's not like I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this because I'm an asshole and I want to have a card to be like, hey.
Well, what if the vaccine?
Well, you want to be able to get in and visit somebody, right? I mean, that's
the main reason. When my father-in-law passed, right. I wasn't able to go to the hospital. And I know my wife knows a lot of nurses, which they're 50-50. Some are vaccinated, some are not. They have a lot of things going on. And one of them says that their hospital is going to have a restriction other than the hospice ward or wherever I forget what they call it now. But I don't want to ever be restricted not to see someone that I can say my last words to face to face.
Right.
Especially like a nephew. Well, shit happens all the time. I had a lot of friends that OD'd, but they'd be dead anyway. It wouldn't be like they'd be in the hospital, but
right.
And I honestly just believe it's, if you want to be vaccinated, go get vaccinated, but it on the people that are not, because you still can carry COVID.
Yeah, but I mean the odds of getting COVID if you're vaccinated are vastly reduced. But you're right; it's not 100%.
Is that a fact though? Like, I can't.
All the evidence that I've seen says it is.
I'm not being an asshole. I just don't know.
I think is it what was it? Pfizer's supposed to be 90% of the people who would have got COVID will now not get it. So only 10% will get it.
So, Biscuit, do you believe everyone should be vaccinated, or you believe it?
No,
should
I don't
be,
think.
It's
I don't
up to
think.
them.
If you don't want to get vaccinated, don't get vaccinated. But in my opinion, if you're in a state of, like you're going to be giving care to someone who's vulnerable, then I think that if you get the vaccine and that reduces your chances of then passing the virus on, then yeah, I think you should.
All right. Well, I disagree. Unless you can show me the
facts. That's my opinion.
Exactly.
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion at the end of the day.
Do you believe school teachers too?
No, because kids don't get it as bad as the elderly.
See, that's the caveat with the healthy people working with severely immune compromised people.
Yeah.
Where I think that's the difference. Yeah, like he says, Biscuit says, with kids, the kids are going to be the ones who are less sick. The teachers are going to be the one who's fucked up.
Like my daughter's teacher's like 80, so she's the one who's at risk, not my child.
Right.
She's 80?
She's 80, yeah.
Why is she still working?
Because she wants to. She loves the job.
Fuck that, retire.
She works with primary school children. She loves it.
Yeah, she must hate kids now, though. Not saying you're a kid. I'm saying kids. I
don't think she was able to have children herself, so she doesn't have grandchildren. So she just,
Yeah, you could share that.
Teaches children.
No, my stance. I understand where you guys are coming about the healthcare being in certain situations, like where you are located, but until you could tell me that it's 100% that you can't get COVID.
What about if it's only 90% and it reduces?
But you're going to force somebody. You're going to force somebody to get the vaccine that they went to school, they specialize this, and they're going to lose a job because they don't want to risk, because they have a lot of questions, like everyone else does, like the long term.
Yeah, but there are forced vaccines right now. Like when you go to college, they make sure you have certain vaccines.
Oh, I know. I've been vaccinated. I got one flu shot my whole life. All right. When I was younger, I had to go to juvenile detention, and I had to get a flu shot before I went, and I got very ill from that. And then ever since then, I never got flu shot. Should I say?
What about tetanus?
Never got stabbed with anything rusty yet. If I do, I will. I'll go. But that's something that's been forever.
What's the one that tasted salty that they put a drop on your tongue?
Polio.
Is that polio?
No, we don't get polio.
That was
unless you come outside the state.
Oh,
we have video.
We got video. There he is.
Yeah.
I snuck him on. I think he was just testing it out.
But no, there's chicken pox. There's all these other vaccines out that have been proven. You got to remember, they just threw this out. It's not like there's a lot of questions about it.
Absolutely. And
I think differences. Did you get a chicken? I don't think they did a vaccine.
I didn't. I was too old. No, they do for kids. Your daughter
I thought you just basically, if you find a kid with chicken pox and let your kid play with that kid with chicken pox.
Yeah, spit in each other's mouths.
That was what they did back in the day, chicken pox parties.
Go play. Spit in his
That's
mouth.
what we did. My mum stuck us with loads of kids with chicken pox. And we got chicken pox, and then we were fine after a week, and now we can't get to, what's that thing when you're older?
Shingles.
Yeah.
There's a shot for that too.
You definitely can get shingles. That's how you get shingles. You have to have had chicken pox.
Yeah, my dad got those fucking things. That shit was
I thought
nasty.
you were immune to shingles after you've had chicken pox.
No,
No.
you can only get it from the chickenpox virus.
No, what I'm saying is, if you've had it when you was younger, then you're immune to shingles later on.
No. The pox becomes the shingle. The pox is a pox and then a shingle when
the virus, the chickenpox virus, is never completely killed in your system. It crawls up into some nerve endings where it doesn't bother you.
Are you sure you're not talking about herpes there?
Oh yeah.
Right. You look it up, you'll see.
Yeah, the thing with chickenpox,
chickenpox was just like, as a kid, you'd get immunity.
You get immunity from chickenpox, but not shingles.
Right. So if you get chickenpox as an adult, it can make you very ill.
Right.
That's anybody. So you'd rather have it as a kid and then roll the dice with the shingles, because only say 15% of people who had chickenpox get the shingles. Not everybody does by any means. So, and that is more of a physically painful thing, whereas the chickenpox as an adult is nasty. It can cause scarring. It can go. The pox can come up in like internal parts of your body. It's nasty as fuck, dude. So you don't want it.
Did anyone hear Dr. Fauci's Senate questioning a couple of weeks ago with his name Raoul Paul, the libertarian? Did anyone see it?
It's been a while since. How long ago was it? Just a couple of weeks?
Yeah, it was 2-3 weeks ago. Fauci was questioned, obviously, about COVID and etc. And a question came up to say, in your staff, what's the percentage of your staff has had the vaccine? And I want to ask publicly, what do you think it might be? So the percentage of Dr. Fauci's staff that have had the vaccine.
Oh, it's got to be, I would say, 80%.
That's what I would guess.
Like 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Biscuit? He's gone. Well, let me tell you, he swore at the Senate that about 40 to 45% have had the vaccine.
Huh.
I'll just leave that there, all right? So you can sit on that and have a little think about it. 40 to 45%.
Okay. That is surprising.
It is. Now, what do you think?
It's all public information.
What do you think?
It's all public information. It's all there.
Let me ask you this, Base Welshman. How would Fauci know? Because asking that question, you're not supposed to ask that question, and the information is confidential.
Right. Well, if I start searching, I end up dropping the chat, and I got to rejoin. But it's there.
Okay. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just surprised that he would even offer a number.
That's impossible to. Your question, Last Dance, is impossible for anybody to answer.
Yeah, I mean, I would, if I was Rand Paul, I would say, well, Dr. Fauci, why should you even know the number?
Right.
Yeah, but the question was asked, and he said, I would estimate around about 40 to 45% of my employees have had the vaccine. So obviously he knew, roughly, anyway, because obviously, I don't know, but that's what he answered. So just think about that. And the nurses in the UK as well. I think in the NHS, it's around about 60% have had the vaccine. So that means 40%, just to put it into context, immigrants take care of 29% of the NHS. So more than the immigrants have not had the vaccine yet. I'm just thinking how many people haven't had the vaccine. There's a lot of people in the NHS that haven't had the vaccine. And they don't want to have the vaccine. And they've got concern.
I'm not sure that's true, but what's your point, though?
My point is that's an awful lot. So when you've got medical staff that works maybe for Lord Dr. fucking Fauci, and they've only less than half, and you've got the NHS UK staff just over half, and then the ones who haven't had it are resisting it. They don't want it.
Here's a question for you: should I, as a patient, be allowed to ask for a COVID vaccine-treated doctor or nurse?
No, because it would be against like people's liberty, as far as I'm concerned.
You're right.
No,
right?
I'm not saying that all of them should be. Should I be allowed, as a patient, to ask for a nurse or doctor that's had the vaccine?
Very quickly here, guys. Pardon me, sorry, but Tyler, say hi, and 8805. I would need to see you two guys to at least give me a wave and show me that you're not just going to throw up some porn or some spam. All right. Yeah, one guy. And the other guy.
Okay. I understand what you're saying there, Biscuit. I understand the concerns of why you would say that. I don't really know the answer to that question.
I mean, obviously, I'm vaccinated, but I'm also severely asthmatic.
We fucking hate niggers, kill niggers. Fuck.
Yeah, he did it.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
a lot of. I mean, there's people that just don't have a life, and remember when you were a teenager and you thought breaking a bottle of glass was the coolest thing on the earth. These are people, but then you grew up. These are people who are adults that have that same.
I don't know, dude. When he did wave, his arm looked quite thin. He might have been a young teen, just raising hell.
Well, in that case, I'm okay with it. You got to try all kinds of shit when you're a teenager.
I mean, it was fine. It was obvious. I did it the right way. I got him right out.
You hit the button quick, so that
I
worked.
didn't fumble. YouTube knows we didn't intend to do that, and they need to do their part to vet people somehow, I guess.
Yeah, we got that out on YouTube. There's a delay in there. We heard it, but YouTube is going to be all right.
Well, with this conversation, we might be banned from YouTube.
That's true.
Haircut? What are you, fucking crazy guy?
I don't think so, because we're having a base discussion.
No,
We're not
you can't have that.
We're not outright stating facts.
I was told like 1 year ago, February, that if I got a haircut, I could die. And this is their goddamn result because I got freaked out about a haircut. That's why I grew my hair out again, because of what they told us.
You got a wife, she could cut it.
To be honest with you, the way I feel about the vaccine, I think I'll have the vaccine after they finish the animal results.
Huh?
Say that last part again, dude.
Well, they're finishing the human trials in 2023, so I mostly fancy taking the vaccine available after the animal trials.
Nah,
I'll
just take.
It would make sense.
You don't need the vaccine. Don't worry, it's going to be all gone next year.
Yeah,
it probably is, but the reason it might be all gone was because so many people got the vaccine. I do think that.
No, Biden's president now. That's why.
Dude, because
all politics.
Nobody will ever be able to tell what would have happened if we never had a vaccine and this thing ran its course. It might have been bad.
If the numbers were real.
Yeah, there's footage, Steve. In 2017, that Dr. Fauci said that Trump will get a surprise virus in his term. He said this in 2017. It's like it's a setup. It really is sometimes. He said
I threw gas on this fire. Sorry.
Smoke Samson.
Smoke Samson.
I don't know what that's a reference to.
Your hair.
Jeremiah
long
Johnson.
hair.
Samson. Samson and
Goliath.
Goliath. All right.
So did we cancel Dr. Fauci? Did we cancel him already? I haven't been paying that much
He's high, dude.
Oh, is he? All right.
When he started out, he had these solid frame glasses.
That's
he
awesome.
Looked kind of old, and now he has the rimless, and it's like he looks mad slick, dude.
I'm trying to look for those. I've seen a lot of these politicians have Dr. Fauci pillows. I'm looking for them. I can't find them. Even looked on Amazon.
Did you notice that when Biden got into office, Fauci's face lit up?
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, they had
so much.
It's all money signs.
Have you read Fauci's leaked emails? Have any of you read Fauci's leaked emails?
A few of them,
What
yeah.
did you find? What did you find?
Well, Biden and Fauci could talk about old baseball players like Honus Wagner and Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Biden doesn't even know what fucking planet he's on.
Yeah,
Welshman, what did you find in those emails that you really are like, wow, that's crazy? Oh, damn it.
Yeah, what I read in the emails, and it was very quick because there's like 2,000 pages of them. It's insane. You got to find a place that can really pull out the really good emails. I haven't found that yet. Have you found anything, QWERTY, or Last Dance, or Biscuit?
I've just seen other people's summary of them.
Right. Like Newsweek. 5 things you need to know from the emails.
Oh, I would never trust Newsweek.
No.
Right, exactly.
Don't
It's
trust any
Thursday,
media.
though. I've been subscribed to, is it GB News? I actually
GB
quite
News?
like it.
Yeah, I want to try that one.
In the future, I'm getting all my news from Joe Rogan. That's it.
He's the man.
Yeah,
He don't pick a side. He just says how he feels.
Yep.
It's not real news, but it's
But it's-
better opinionated news than CNN or Fox. So
No, I hear what you're saying, but wouldn't you love to get a real news organization that was
It's a breath of
biased?
fresh
Never
air.
gonna
to
happen.
get-
Never
It's
gonna
a breath
happen.
of fresh
You think
air
it'll
to
never
get
happen?
a good
Never
right
happen.
wing.
Boy, I hope you're wrong.
It's impossible because you must pick a side.
Not even
Not
that.
me.
You'll lose ratings. It's all about ratings. If you have no ratings, you have no news.
I know what you're saying, and the market is suggesting that you're right and I'm wrong, but I believe there is enough of us out there who don't want partisan news that are willing to pay for it, or just ad-based nonpartisan news can make can succeed. I believe that, but you're right, Topple. I mean, there's no evidence of that. The evidence is just the opposite. The more partisan you go, the better it is for the bottom line.
Yes.
So
You're
what
brainwashed.
Yeah.
what the nonpartisan description be of January 6th?
Well,
What
the facts are bad enough if you're. I mean, look, these rioters.
I think the non-partisan would probably have been showing the video and saying huge crowds amassed in front of the Parliament. Some of those were violent,
Yeah.
but the rest of them was peaceful, and that's it.
Well, it's impossible to say because they are pushing a narrative right now that they were a violent insurrection.
They killed a cop, supposedly.
Right.
Which is not fact now.
But
there's video evidence of cops just letting them in. Like, I really wish there was a investigation, a nonpartisan investigation on this, but it won't happen.
It's impossible. That's what I'm saying. On the other side, the people who are sympathetic or whatever to the guys who did that were on the outside going in said, well, the doors were open for them and they just walked in. Now, to me, that also is a crock of shit. So
let's see them try and walk into an FBI office because it's open.
I think we have two sides. One side that might be making it seem like it was an overthrow of the government, an attempted insurrection to control everything. And the other side is telling you, no, they got let in. They were directed down the hall, taking selfies. These guys were.
It's not okay to trash Congress because you're angry. That's totally not okay in any world, in any way, shape, or form.
That is correct.
I don't care. I don't care if you just were let in.
I just want to see the real video of everything that the FBI has that we will never see. Because you see videos of them letting in, and then you see videos of people actually hitting cops. You really do. So,
but when I watched when they were doing the thing in the Parliament themselves, they were doing all the all the internal footage. The cop that was leading them in was actually leading them away from the what they're called. The I can't think. My brain's mashed.
From where they were all assembled.
The sensitive areas. Is that what you're saying?
Well, there was basically like 3 or 4 members of the parliament that was hiding in offices, and basically he led them away from them.
But he shouldn't have let them in the first place.
No, I don't have any.
No, he was already in, but he moved. He led them away from the officers.
Listen, you don't want cops to be using excessive force when they don't have to. Absolutely.
Well, he didn't have a choice. It was one person, and there was several more than he was.
Well, that's right. So they should, lead them in just to calm them down and get them out. I don't have a problem with if the cops let them in, as opposed to shooting them is the only other choice.
Well, did they think that anybody's life was in danger that day? Because there was reports that they were going to get. Who were they going to get? All these weird reports.
Yeah, I haven't found anything to back those up. There's a lot of someone said this, and they were going to hang Nancy Pelosi. It's like, okay, well, what does the FBI say? The FBI hasn't so far given any evidence that there was such a thing.
I mean, I don't understand why the senators aren't armed. They should all be strapped.
They're not allowed to. Pelosi says no guns.
They have a police force.
Yeah, I know, but I would say fuck that shit because the bad guys made it in there.
I hear what you're saying.
Someone got shot and killed. Someone did get shot and killed.
So. No, but
that's true.
I mean, Smokesteve, things are different these days, right? You had I don't know if you remember when the Senate Republicans had their softball game.
Yeah.
That Steve Scalise was shot by that guy.
Yeah, that was horrendous.
That
was a rifle. That was a rifle, man. Like across a baseball field.
Yep.
These dudes are like doing batting practice for softball, and this guy starts unloading a big rifle, not a 22. We're talking like 308 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's fucking winging guys.
The Capitol riot's the same thing. You have a bunch of people who are, willing to be, to attack other policemen to get in. I mean, I would definitely not want to be unarmed in a situation like that.
Yeah, seriously.
Kind of like in Portland and there, where they're all unarmed and just getting pelted away. And that's the big problem right now is what happened that day compared to what all happened in the summer and how the news reacted. This is what most people are more irritated with.
Yeah, but you can't redirect one thing to the other.
Exactly.
They're not connected.
They're not connected, but when people like me, I get pissed off at the media. I hate it. It's brainwash, and that's all it is. Peaceful protests in Seattle every day in last summer when they're attacking. Then you see this. Now videos are starting to show some light. And it depends on what station you watch. You watch CNN, you'll see the violence. And then you go to Fox, you'll see we're just in here having a good time. No harm to anybody kind of thing. I just want to see all the videotapes. I want an investigation.
Well, some of them might be considered sensitive evidence in a criminal case.
I mean, we all saw that video.
Biden's laptop.
Of the woman you referred to a few minutes ago, Cordy, who got killed. There were cops coming
Secret
up.
Service. It was Secret Service that shot her.
No. There were whatever the guys were who came up the stairs right then with AR-15s. I don't know if they were local cops or Secret Service, but there was the guy who shot her from the front as she was coming in.
Yeah,
she literally 3 seconds later, if you see one of the videos from out there, the guys who are tending to her have ARs, and they're either Capitol Police or federal officers or something. But that's why that shooting didn't make any sense to me, because that shot could have fucking went right through one of those officers' heads.
Exactly. It was totally unprofessional. It was a crossfire scenario.
Secret Service are trained.
They're trained. But what I'm saying, you have to look at it. Cordy, even though we're maybe from different sides, that was unusual.
The shooter was not Secret Service.
I thought it was Secret Service.
Oh no, that was
That report did come out.
That dumpy guy. There's no way he was Secret Service. Secret Service men are, they're in great shape. They're like special forces. They're
A lot of testosterone.
That was a Capitol policeman who shot.
They have some predilections to some horny behavior, those Secret Service guys.
No, that was a Capitol policeman.
Well, how you feel about that? Should she been shot?
No,
not there. Maybe if she had kept going, and
if someone broke into your house, would you shoot them? Do you think you have the right?
I think I do. Yeah.
I'm just doing the fight that everyone else does.
I wouldn't shoot her if she broke into.
Why not? Why not?
There were other
little
people,
woman standing in a window.
There were other.
She was trying to get into the window,
but there were other people.
I wouldn't be afraid of her.
Right there were hundreds of other people who had already broken in. So,
okay.
But not into that part, though. That was.
Well, sometimes you gotta keep peace and be like, okay, you go past this threshold, you're getting shot.
I understand that. I understand that. But you have to look at it on the greater scale here. That it there's nothing wrong with admitting it may have been a panic mistake by the officer to pull the trigger.
No, I think it should have been done.
You think so?
Crowd control.
I don't know. Don't you think it's a little harsh to put somebody down because
He's a Trump supporter anyway? Who cares?
That's a huge. That's a big. A lot of people agree with you there.
Well, I'm playing the other side now. Yeah. This is what I hear all the time.
Yeah, it's a lot of people in the media agree with you.
Exactly.
I won't judge you for feeling that way, Cordy.
No,
it's okay. I mean,
the way I feel about it.
I know
you're going to argue.
Supporters.
What's that?
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Can you kick this guy out of the chat?
He's a bit spammy.
I mean,
he's put slow mode on.
I mean, I know he loves you, but
he ain't throwing any shade.
You want more people like that, right?
I'm just giving you the basic things I heard. The way I felt about it, there's not enough details for me to judge if the cop was right or wrong. I don't know. So.
No, I hear you.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to say if he really thought at that moment, like, was he thinking, did someone tell him, like, when they pulled out, say, Pence, they said, anyone comes through that glass, kill him. As they're leaving, who knows? Like,
those are good questions.
These are things we'll never know. So it's legitimate to say that I do agree that at first, I was like thinking, Jesus, this looks harsh, being that there were cops right there on the other side. But in hindsight, you really have to take the situation apart and analyze it and say, was it necessary? But that's the thing. We can't say what that guy saw, what that guy felt, that panic, that energy, the adrenaline.
No, we can't, but it might have been inappropriate. It might have been appropriate. I wish that. It seems like we're not allowed to ask any more questions about this.
Right. She was a Air Force veteran.
Yeah.
And I don't think she was necessarily like what I would call of the criminal element of society. You know what I'm saying? Like the person that I would care less about getting shot. Maybe she was a little misguided, but
yeah,
I'm going to bring in her biggest fan right here. He's back. Oh, Shady's back now. Oh, yeah, he's back.
Hey, the electric's back on.
Holy shit, you're bald now. That must have been a heck of a tornado.
It was. It blew. It blew all my hair off.
This was a fun conversation, full left.
So how did your property do?
Well, nothing hit the house, thankfully.
Yeah.
But there's a pretty big tree right outside. Like, if there was no concrete walls here, it would be 20 feet away from me. That is laying on the. Well, it's still connected, like halfway up the tree, and the rest of it, 50 feet out in the woods, is laying in the ground.
You must not have overhead lines then. Everything underground there.
Yeah, but I mean, somebody obviously had overhead lines because the power just came back on after 2 hours at least.
That's nothing.
Well, at first, we were like, I have all these little LED lights, battery operated, and I'm like, oh, cool, man! I finally get,
I get to use it.
headlamps, and I had everything going. And then after like half hour, 45 minutes, I'm like, maybe I should start turning some of this off. We don't really need it. We could be here a long time.
So you don't lose power that long when you do lose power?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess not. I mean, that's one of the longer times, really.
Yeah, we go days sometimes. So that's why I have a house generator.
I feel like when we had an ice storm real bad here one time, and I feel like it was longer, like maybe a day. But I could be wrong.
I'm gonna just say hi to Mr. Orange.
Yeah, that's not what Mr. Pink would say, though.
But let's go through him. And now Mr. Orange, he feels bad about the first comment. He says, "Sorry, no, dude, let it rip, Mr. Orange."
I mean, he's kind of whining about himself being too harsh.
Yeah, at first he comes on. At first he comes on.
Fucking
strong.
hypocrite.
First he comes on strong, and then. And now he's just like neutral. I've been to a pub before. Why do you ask? And then now he thinks. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's all over the road. Mr. Orange, welcome to the pub.
He went from alpha to beta.
He doesn't know where to be. Like, he's like, should I be a troll or should I try to be cool with these guys? Like, they seem cool, but maybe
please be a troll. We need a troll in here.
Yeah, I know.
We've just had a troll. Question mark dot exclamation mark dot.
Well, that was more like a love troll.
Yeah, still a troll.
Yeah.
bashing the messaging.
Yeah, the second I click on that one to bring them on, it's going to be porn, racism, everything, all in one. Fucking like whammo.
Yeah.
The people just wait for that.
So cool. So cool.
I don't know what to do. Maybe you need to make them show an investment.
Have you ever seen some of the unsightly videos that people have done on Omegle when they're like people are scrolling around and the stuff that some of these characters will do? Anybody?
I was on Omegle like in the first 6 months of it coming out. This was like 8 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of it.
Oh my god, every second chuffing person I got in contact with, it was a bloke laid on bed with chuffing his dick out.
Right.
Oh, sweet.
No, I was talking more about like people.
You didn't have to pay for that?
Oh,
what's that link again?
Free?
It's mostly used by teens website, but there's guys who go on and just try to do really racist crap, and then somehow people record it and someone else puts it together in like a chain video that goes around the internet, and it is.
I've seen a good YouTube channel that literally uses Omegle. He goes on Omegle with his guitar and plays his guitar and makes everyone swoon at him because he's that good at his guitar.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, it's Derek. What's up, Derek? Still awake over there in Manchester? Mr. D in the house. Sorry.
Dippy Derek.
Not a troll, Mr. Orange. Polite way. You're good, Mr. Orange. It's cool.
I will say this. No troll has ever said that they're a troll.
No, they may have said I'm just trolling. There's the link, Mr. Orange, if you want to come on and show us your orange self.
Didn't we have a president who was Mr. Orange?
Yeah, Cheeto.
He was sent from God.
And also, he got the vaccine, which was, he got it early on. And
he got the natural vaccine first, didn't he?
He got the virus, and he said, he didn't say it often, but he did say, trust me, you don't want this thing. He was messed up.
So there's no reason, because he got the virus, there was no reason for him to get the vaccine.
Well, he was trying to create the vaccine and add that to his legacy of stuff in case possibly he didn't succeed in presidency.
I'm sorry, but Trump's legacy with the COVID is always going to be the bleach comment that never happened.
Well, it's a mixed legacy. I mean, if he certainly he says and said stupid shit his entire presidency, but it wasn't exclusively stupid shit. According to Aphid Lib, it was only 95% stupid shit.
Did the stupid shit outweigh the good shit?
I think it outweighed it by very much, and I'm not that hard on him.
If Twitter didn't exist, do you think he'd still be president?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, let us not forget, there was a time when he was doing a lot of no mask stuff and campaigning. And then shortly thereafter, he got COVID. I'll never forget it. I think it was the morning news. I came out of the shower and the wife was in the living room and she turns around and she's like, he fucking got COVID. Can you believe it? I was like, no fucking way. You're kidding me. Like, we could not believe it.
I think I would like Smokesteve wife.
She's hilarious, man. She definitely had a little sneer. She like a little like the Grinch.
Well, he had it coming, didn't he? He was practically hugging
exactly
millions of his followers.
You and her would have been. It would have been like in the video, jump around, high fives, and just go crazy, dude.
They would have been 6 feet apart, though.
Well, you know what? I knew he was.
Or they could use the grabber arms, the pincher.
That's a
high five with that.
Yeah, I've got my grabber arm.
There you go. But yeah, I remember saying like some fucking maniac. I'm like, I really hope that our president is okay and doesn't die. I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm like, then I'm like, fuck, I can't believe he got it. This fucking idiot, you know, like,
right.
You know, on one side, I think, yeah, just do whatever. The other side, you try to believe science. It's like, Jesus, fucking nightmare. I couldn't believe it, though. It was a really tripped out time. He was in the hospital. He was in Walter Reed.
Yep.
He was in tough shape.
Yep.
He even talked about it. Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Him, Hope Hicks, and Chris Christie got it the worst out of those group of people that got it at the same time.
Did Pence get it? I don't think he got it.
No, I don't think so.
But Christie,
that Pence, that's a tough one, isn't it?
What are you talking about?
Well, he came out and did a speech a couple of nights ago. Poor guy.
He's not getting a lot of love these days.
They called him a traitor.
Yeah, I know.
Poor guy.
It's
He's got
weird.
that nice hair, and
You know, he's probably the only one who stood by Trump the entire 4 years. The only one.
Not quite. He kind of fell out of love in the last 3 months, didn't he?
No,
well, he took it to the extent he was willing to take it to the extent.
Yeah.
Right.
He's still got to look his grandkids in the face and be like, "This is your grandpa. These are the decisions I've made. Look at me in the history books."
Yeah, I don't know. Pence, is it a thing that they would expect him to be like, I will not certify him as president of the United States, and therefore Trump is still president? Bam!
Who knows what people believe, but
What the hell did they think he was going to do?
It's all ceremonial at that point, anyways. It's the election is held in the states on election day. That's when the election happens. The rest is ceremonial, and
yeah, he would have had to have a massive team of constitutional lawyers come up with something for him to say. It would be 1 or 2 lines, and he would walk away without certifying the presidency, and it would be a gigantic legal tangle. Because
I don't think it even matters. I don't think it has anything to. I think, like Last Dance is saying, it's just ceremonial. There's no importance to it whatsoever. It doesn't have any weighing in who's president or not. It doesn't matter. He could have said whatever he wanted to say, and it wouldn't have made a difference.
No, I don't know about that, because
I don't think
they
so.
are with laws, they might have really nitpicked, and because they don't want to get it wrong.
Has there ever been a history in America that a president's won and then it's been proven after the fact that they didn't, and then the other person got in.
Nope.
Never.
Never.
No, that's never been that tight.
I mean, technically, Bush didn't win, but Gore, what do you call it? He said he won. He was done with fighting with it, and he didn't want to put the country through that.
Well,
Technically,
Bush did win. But technically, he probably should not have.
Because of the dangling chads?
They had the Palm Beach County.
This is Bush Senior we're talking about.
No.
W.
W in 2000.
George W. Bush. Got you.
Yeah.
The one that looks so much better now.
What, is he dead?
No, but he was looked at as a clown, and then we got an even worse clown in.
Oh, I got you.
So he looks. He's like, man, this Trump guy is the best thing that ever happened to a guy like me.
I mean, you're right
Trump?
in terms of what his mouth does, but I think in terms of actual policy, I think Bush W will be one of the worst presidents in the history of the U.S. just because of the stupid Iraq and Afghanistan endless wars that he got us into.
It kind of teams up with our prime minister of the time, which was what was his
Tony
name?
Blair.
That's him, yeah.
I don't know. Bush, his overall policies horrendous, terrible president. But when he greeted those troops, man, they loved him. They were like,
The thing is, though, Tony Blair was a fuck up with war and that, but it was actually one of the most successful prime ministers of the time.
Yep. But he's hated. He's hated after the fact.
Oh yeah, because he completely messed up. The war should never have happened.
Let's see, Welshie, he's back for some Tony Blair talk.
Oh, perfect for AFA time. Let's discuss this COVID.
Oh, you guys talking COVID?
Come on, let's talk something else.
Well, I've just sent Steve something on Twitter.
Nice.
Some hard facts, did you?
Yeah, from the Senate. They stopped animal trials because the animals kept on dying. It's in the Senate. So they went straight to human trials.
Fuck.
All right, lads. Sorry, but...
How many people died in the UK from the COVID shot? What was that number?
The flu virus dropped by 95%. I know that much.
Well, it would do. People
wearing masks. People wearing masks.
Washing their hands, not seeing each other.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You could see that one a mile away. The only thing I didn't see a mile away was the people that thought that was going to be like a thing to use against COVID existing.
Okay, I'm going to start dropping freedom of information requests in. We're the biggest hospital in the UK, having the biggest borough in Europe, of all accounts, had the lowest deaths last year in the last 5 years. And I can do this up and down the country. I've got freedom of information requests, and they're all available. They're working out the deaths last year were not the highest deaths in the last 5. They were like the lowest deaths in the last 5. But we were in a pandemic last year, so you can answer that question.
Well, that means that the steps that everybody took must have paid off. Then we should do those steps every year.
No. When it's a pandemic and there's supposed to be 129,000 deaths,
supposed to be. You don't think there is?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying the hospitals aren't saying that.
Do you know anybody that was directly affected? Like, do you know anybody that died?
No.
Well, then that's probably why,
Oh, right. Anecdotal.
You haven't come around.
Here we go.
We'll have anecdotal evidence, should we, like that, instead of just freedom of information requests where they can't hide. Oh, okay. Let's go for that then.
Sounds good.
You're
to me.
Screwing this all up, Steve.
Yeah. we get to see that ex-hamster tab he's got up there.
Yeah, what you got going on in there?
It's
64 degrees there. That's nice.
Did that work?
We're
Was
here.
that horrendous?
Did what work?
I don't know. Did you see anything? Did you see?
We saw a load of screens.
We saw
Yeah.
like a browser up on the screen.
Base Welshman, can you post your Twitter?
Yeah, it's just based Welshman. If you put that in, it'll come up.
Oh, Base Welshman, and
Yeah.
they'll
Base
find
Welshman 1.
Yeah.
I'll take a look at you later.
Yeah, I mean, I literally put that Senate hearing in there now where they said that they stopped the animal tests because the animal kept on dying, and the woman went, yes.
Yeah, well, the animal could have died of anything.
No, oh God, don't do a biscuit on me. Come on. When you hear the video and you hear it straight from the Senate, you know, I can roll them up. I can roll it up, man. Just loads.
I survived the COVID shot, so that's all I know.
Yeah.
It's a bit like
So far.
Joe Biden.
I know. That's what I'm waiting for. The surprise.
It's the spike proteins you've got to worry about, and that's how this gene therapy works.
Do you actually think the spike proteins is the bit that's harmful, Welshman?
Yes.
Wrong. It's not the spike protein; it's the virus inside that multiplies within your body.
No.
Yes,
No.
it's the DNA inside the virus body itself that multiplies within your own cells.
I'll be right back.
You clearly don't know about this vaccine at all, mate.
I know about viruses, though.
Oh, look at that dick.
We're not about the virus. We're not about the fucking vaccine.
Was that a crash shot?
Yes, it was.
I don't know. QWERTY just speaks his mind over there.
I was trying to warn him in case he wasn't wearing no pants.
The nighttime is the right time to speak your mind, apparently, over there. And
I never hold up back.
Where are you in? You're in Jersey, right?
No.
Philly.
Outside of Philly.
Right. But you sound like Jersey, homeboy.
Yeah, no, I don't.
So
Don't say that.
That's straight Philly all day?
No, I don't really have a good. My dialect is not really Philadelphian. I grew up in Philadelphia and grew outside.
As we know it, no, but I am I've done biology A level.
What happened? Where'd that come on?
He asked me if I'm a virologist, but I've done A level biology.
All right.
Last Dance crotch shot got in the way of it. Sorry.
It's all right. No worries.
So the chap who actually got the patents for the mRNA vaccine, he got that patent back in 1989 when he was in college. That's how far ahead he was in his field. And I've got the interview, and I'm going to put it in my Twitter page. And if you fancy put it on there, he has actually said about the mRNA vaccine and the spike protein and his concerns about the spike protein used in the mRNA technique that he's patented.
I got a B actually, Mr. Orange, in GCSE.
Hey, a biscuit. What do you call when somebody gets a patent?
A patent. A patent. It's same patent.
Why does Base Welchie says fucking patent?
No, it's a patent.
Yeah, patents.
Tomato.
Yeah,
I think it's just Welshman's accent. That's all.
All right.
So he got that patent for that design and that way of doing it, the mRNA, back in 1989, and he's saying that he is not happy the way that they're using that with the spike protein, because they say the spike protein can break the brain-blood barrier, right? And then they're not sure. This is the thing. They're believing that it can actually go into the brain. And on top of that, the way it works is that the spike protein keeps on targeting the virus, or the vaccine will work, and it tires your immune system out. So it's the long-term effects that this could be a real problem, gentlemen. This really could be a problem for you.
His opinion is definitely one that I would value, but it's just because he invented it doesn't mean he's the only one who understands.
No, it doesn't. But I will put it in my Twitter if you want to, and please look at it in your own time. It's a 12-minute video. I'll try and find it now.
I hope you're not going to tell me that he's been banned from YouTube.
Yeah, well, they're all banned from YouTube. They've all been discredited. All these people that were in head of their field. You know the visor. I can't say the words.
I'll tell you, Last Dance, none of them blocked by Richie Allen, though.
I couldn't believe I saw that tweet.
Yeah, the Pfizer's ex-CEO, his name's Paul Yielding. He has come out and said that he's very, very concerned about the spike protein and the way this gene therapy works. And they've totally discredited. They've discredited all of them. He was the ex-CEO of Pfizer.
Well, I got nothing against someone, quote, discrediting them. It's when they're banned and prevented.
Yeah, they're bandmates. I
can't tolerate. That's no good.
I can't touch any of that on YouTube. I've taken those deaths off my Twitter page because you can't trust Twitter these days.
Yeah, you know what? I wish you Brits would come up with your, with a YouTube and a Twitter that, is not under the control of Silicon Valley. That's what I wish you guys would do.
Hey, it was called not Alt Feed. What was it called?
Live Leak.
Live Leak.
You want to know the truth? That was hosted in the United States. Believe it or not.
Did you hear, Aphid, that Last Dance got blocked by Richie Allen?
I did. I was going to ask him, but I didn't want to change the subject. It seemed like this was going so far. But yeah, I was really curious about that. Actually, did you guys talk about it already?
A little bit, but over the time.
So was it when you asked like why he was so against people getting vaccines or something? You said
I didn't actually respond to him directly. That's another funny thing. It was he posted something that I thought was probably bullshit, and somebody else responded and said one word: evidence. And I replied to that guy and said he has his evidence. His evidence is, and I said, quote, some guy said something, unquote.
Right.
And then I was blocked.
But that was a while ago that you said that one.
That was today.
Oh, you said it today, and then today you got blocked.
Yeah.
I know
it's build up over 6 months of like literally 4 or 5 tweets. So we're talking like 4 weeks apart, 3 weeks apart.
Yeah, there's no way he could remember me from a previous negative.
Right.
That's though. It's a bit on the nose to be silencing people with different opinions.
I think it's a total dick move. I know Hayden's friends with him and everything, but I don't think Hayden would care. I mean, he wants everybody to say what they want anyway. But yeah, I think that's a fucking dick move, man. Seriously.
It is, because with Hayden, he would just dive right in and jump all over your ass right away.
Right. Yeah. To block. I mean, come on. I got people that follow me that have been stalking me basically for years, and I don't block them. Fuck them.
You haven't blocked me yet.
Right.
Right. So our theory is, Aphid, possibly he didn't do it. That maybe someone else helps him maybe manage his social media.
I mean, whatever the case, I'm sure he tells them how to handle things.
Right. And
he must be okay with it because he would know it by now.
Whatever our boy Last Dance did, it crossed the line on their threshold.
Yeah, I'm sure Last Dance crossed the line. No, Last Dance opposed one of his views.
That's all.
And to him, that's crossing the line. I think that's a bunch of shit.
Correct. Whatever parameters he set out there, this apparently went past them.
Well, or you think that helps your viewership if you got more people that agree with you than don't agree with you. No matter which way you look at it, I think it's just a total coward dick move.
So you think he
lost of respect for me, for sure.
You think he might just keep a certain amount of dissent around?
I mean, I can only go based off of the small group of people that I know that follow him, and in that case, then yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. It's
You know, I mean, when you got a bunch of people that agree with you and kiss your ass, which I do see some of that with people I know. That
I just quote tweeted the tweet that got me blocked, so you can look at it.
All right, I'll have to look it up. Yeah, I do. I mean, seriously, come on.
What's your name on Twitter, Last Dance?
You'll never guess. It's a lot like your name on Twitter.
Okay. All right, I'll have a look at that.
Seriously, I mean, come
Oh,
on.
Last Dance. I've put the inventor, and if anyone's interested, I've put it in the back room chat, in the green room chat.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
It's the RMR vaccine.
Thank you very much,
Welshman.
I appreciate that.
Technology.
So what?
The next one is to do with the 30% of deaths in the UK on the Delta variant. I'll put that in as well. All right.
Last Dance, what's your opinion on him blocking you? What do you think about it?
I was surprised, but I like I said before, you never know. You never know how much shit he gets, and if he wants to block people to manage, his experience, that's why there's a block button.
Right.
So I was just surprised he did it. He seems like a big tough son of a gun. I can't imagine him blocking me. But
now, quickly, Alan says here, why don't you send him for an interview? I did. I sent Hayden the request to see if I could get Richie on the pub. My pathetic ass as
I think he's too old. He goes to bed by his excuse.
Hayden was like, dude, his weekends are precious to him, and it is highly unlikely. So I was like, all right, cool. We'll see what he says anyways, buddy. And I don't think anything ever went through beyond that. I think the guy probably makes 4 or 5 shows a week, and he's fucking swamped. And why would he want to come on here and debate with us for 15 viewers, which we're 6, so there's only 9. Half of them are probably passed out. So we might have like 3 other people who are actually alive here. Alan Reader, that's life, but not as we know it too.
Well, I see you on another TV over there, so I count for one of those views for sure.
Mr. Orange, maybe he's there. He might.
There's Cup of Tea, that's life as we know it. Mr. Orange and
Alan Reader.
Alan, and that's it.
Actually, I'm on both my YouTube accounts, so I acquire for 2 of those views.
Well, make sure you hit the like button. And
oh, you're right. I should do that.
Oh, and somebody who claims she's Smokesteve's wife. Likely story.
Right. Everybody's jumping on that bandwagon.
Exactly.
No, that's her.
Oh, excuse me.
You're very tame when she's on the chat. I noticed that, Steve.
No, I'm not, dude.
Yeah,
I'm crazy. Bro, woo, whatever.
No. Well, she's not usually
shotgun. Yeah, rifle.
When she's not usually in the chat room.
You're right.
All you've seen is the robot arm, but she has another one, a stick with just a nail in the end of it, and she'll just let him have it.
Yeah, you're like
It's
way you're way more male chauvinistic when she's not on.
Dude, that robot arm is aircraft aluminum. She can put a swing on that.
Oh, no kidding.
Down.
It's amazing how much you say how much you love Trump when she's not around.
Right.
Yeah, in fact, I wrote a song.
Oh. Here comes the frying pan.
Me and Mr. Orange, we run at night because we're crazy. No, I didn't write a song.
Oh, come on, man.
You're sleeping on the couch tonight.
You stole that from the Beatles.
I did, right. E minor start, Beatles all day long.
Hey, I'd like to point out and thank Based Welshman. He does a lot of work to get all these links. He's sharing them with us, and
he's good, man.
I'm definitely going to check him out because he's kind of a guy that I follow on Twitter for good laughs and see what they have to say. I'm just surprised that they're reporting how many deaths from COVID shots they're getting. You will never see that in the States.
No,
they're not deaths from COVID. They're deaths following COVID injections.
I don't know.
That's why I got to read it.
Yep. Last Dance, you all all of a sudden you're like an expert on the opposite end of the the Euro chart or whatever the fuck that thing was that I read. So how do you know? Because it said deaths resulting from vaccine.
Is that what it said? No, I thought it said deaths following the vaccine.
Yeah, that's what it said on what I read.
Following.
Here we go.
I've deleted that off Twitter now because I'm afraid to leave it on there.
Yeah, I understand.
Why?
Because you'll get banned.
Yeah.
You'll get blocked because Twitter.
Yeah, you know what? AFED would report you. You better take that off.
I got a list a mile long.
He doesn't censor anybody. He just gets people blocked or banned.
I thought I took a picture of it, but the last thing I took a picture of was my drink.
Be careful, the Kool-Aid man might break through your wall.
It looks like Kool-Aid.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the side chat here now. I can't put photos. No, I can't put photos now. I can put links, can't I?
AFED, I forgot to tell you. I got really sick on that second dose.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm going around telling everyone don't get it.
Oh.
You'd rather get COVID.
Here we go.
You'd rather die in the hospital. Don't get the shot.
I got like a I think I told you guys. It felt like I barely had a hangover. That's kind of the best way. I
You
could
got
describe it.
Pfizer, right?
Yeah, the one that's good.
Yeah, the one. Why doesn't everyone get Pfizer? What are you maniacs
My-
doing getting anything else?
I got the first one I could.
Apparently, Pfizer's worse than AstraZeneca for the blood clots these days.
Pfizer is amazing. Maybe by the time it gets over to you, it's degraded a little.
It's watered down.
Yeah,
I've got the stats somewhere. I'll find the stats now.
My son got.
Pfizer's actually worse for blood clots.
Oh no, you got your son a shot?
Yeah.
No.
No. He was like, he wanted it, and we went out shopping today because he's got his second shot. But he got a little sick from his second shot. But he didn't wear his mask. He was on top of the world. I mean, seriously, man. I mean.
Well, he has to wait 2 weeks. You have to wait 2 weeks after you get your second dose.
True.
Oh, you're breaking the rules, AFED.
Yeah, dude, nobody pays attention to that.
You're the problem.
They say the first one, the kids are like, I don't know, 95% after like 8 days of the first one or something.
Yeah,
so I told him that. I'm like, dude, you don't need to wear, because he didn't need to wear the mask the whole time, pretty much.
Bad father.
He hasn't hit puberty fully yet, so.
What, you check?
Yeah, I do. I do every day.
Drop
Come on,
the chores,
man. I'm a dad.
Yeah.
Let's see if you got grass in the field yet, boy.
That's a
Drop
thing to do. Hey, Aphid, so what do you give him? Like, if you're going into, say, Walmart, you're going to let him drop some dough. You're going to give him, I'm going to guess, 60.
For what?
He doesn't go to Walmart. He goes to Target.
Well, for whatever he wants,
60
like
what?
$60.
For what?
Whatever he wants. Like you said, this is your spending limit.
No. I mean, I got that. The only thing he's got money from is when he's done something to deserve it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I've never given him. I mean, I can't say never. I mean, we've been in stores when he was a kid and he wanted something. I was like, all right, But usually it was still related to something good he did.
So,
he's been buying.
Maybe he'll
like
have
today.
$1 to buy some
This is my son. Today, for example,
another link.
We went to Goodwill's, right? You guys know what Goodwills are? It's like resale shops, kind of. You donate your stuff.
Oh
there
yeah,
to
the
resell.
Salvation Army.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So
Most
he
people
bought with his own money. He bought 2 Wii controllers and 2 PlayStation controllers, and then he peeled the stickers off on the way to the game store. And he resold them for $50 in-store credit.
Oh,
He only paid $20. He paid $20. Yeah, and he does that with Facebook and all kinds of different things with old video
He's
games.
a little entrepreneur.
Right.
Boy, that kid sounds smart as a whip, man. I love it.
Yeah, he's into it, man.
That is cool.
But he even says, because we're like, dude, you do some chores around the house. And you can get allowance, and we'll give you this much a week. And he's like, I don't need that, man. I got my Facebook game
why
going.
Why would he need that when he has this plethora of cash?
He gets food, power, and a roof over his head.
What's it called? Speculate to accumulate.
It's like, I ain't taking no garbage out. I could make a telephone call or send a message through Facebook and make twice that much.
So you end up taking the garbage out?
No, he makes his wife do it.
That's right.
You'll have to start taking a percentage
I pick up my
for
fair share
phone
around here,
and
trust me.
internet fees, Aphid.
What's that?
You have to start taking a percentage for phone and internet.
Well, I've told him because he's like, he'll bring up, he'll try to reason with me on different things, and I'm like, dude, you're not even coming close to, breaking even on some of this stuff, and I try to explain some of that stuff to him.
Yeah, in the old days, you could just be like, listen, you little effer, you're going to take the garbage out and you're going to pay me.
Right.
You can't be like that with kids anymore. It's
No.
like,
I throw money at my son so he leaves me alone. I'm like, here's 100, go away.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah, their team. Like, he just went down to the beach, and I'm like, here's 200, have fun.
200, Jesus.
So we have a boardwalk. As soon as you step foot on it, you're going to be spending at least 100 right there. So
What? That's crazy.
Oh.
Well,
Peace of mind.
You're only spending the 100 if you're going up and picking up the water gun and spraying it into the clown's mouth to fill the water balloon to win the race or whatever the fucking dumb game is. If you just walk through and people watch, you don't have to spend that kind of dough.
Well, he likes to impress girls too, so he likes to spend money. So
is he the one with the elf on the shelf that you told me about?
Oh yeah.
That story just came up with my family. It was with my friends at the float trip this last weekend. My wife was like, "Tell him about Topple's son and the elf on the shelf."
Get him an e-scooter, save some money.
Well, you don't have to tell the elf on the shelf story here on the
well. Basically, what it comes down to, and correct me if I'm wrong because it's been a few years, but this is how we retell the story: was that Topple's son found out about Santa Claus and was like all bent out of shape, and then like a few days later, Topple was like, "Hey, help me hide the elf on the shelf for your daughter or something that's a little bit younger." And he was like, "Wait a minute, the elf on the shelf ain't real either."
It's like, what's going on? What else is real?
Oh, so he had found out one reality, but he held on to the elf.
Yeah, right. And he lost a tooth like not too long ago after that. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm the tooth fairy too.
Right. Trial by fire. Just give it all at once, dude. There's no tooth fairy. Easter Bunny's fake. Elf on a shelf is fucked up, and there is no Santa Claus.
He's like, how much of my life is a lie? I'm like, when you get older.
Besides those four things, the rest is pretty much real.
Do you even love me? I'm like, yeah.
My daughter asked me if Jesus was real a couple of months ago. I goes, well, I don't believe in him, but you can believe in whatever you like.
That's a tough one. He was a historical figure that did exist.
He was a carpenter.
They do believe.
No, that was Joseph, not Jesus.
Oh. Jesus was a carpenter too.
No,
he was.
No, he was a carpenter.
All right.
There's no religion in my house.
I mean, he couldn't mortise a door the same as Joe, but he did all right. He could, fudge it. Little planer here and there.
He was real bad at toenailing a nail in though.
They couldn't get it in at that 45-degree angle. Always went down and never hit the stud.
Well, he made water in the wine, right?
If it was such a good joiner, why didn't he make a worse job of his cross? Then it would have collapsed and it would have been free.
Well, Romans built the cross, bro.
They make him carry it though. He could have switched it for a shitty one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jesus with that white, blonde, long, flowing hair.
Yeah, there was no chance Jesus was white.
Yeah, white skin. I mean, they show him like a skinny version of me because he was in shape.
Steve's Jesus.
That always gets me because
he looks a little bit like Jesus.
Jesus XL.
It was in the Middle East or Africa or something.
Plus size Jesus.
They didn't have mac and cheese back in Jesus' time.
Oh, it's terrible. People used to call me that. I'd wear flip-flops. In fact, back in elementary school in 8th grade, I went to a Catholic school, and we were told, like, you have to make a video about Catholicism and how it affects like youth, the youth.
A video?
Yeah, so we used a VHS recorder, and I put on like an altar boy uniform, and I was on these rocks in like the ghetto of Boston, kind of an area called Dorchester, and I'm like, stop! Like one kid's beating up another kid. I'm like, stop doing that. You're hurting him. Let's all be at peace. And then I did this whole thing with the Baltimore uniform on, and won a huge prize in the stupid Catholic school. And I was Jesus in the video, and they let me kind of rock the Jesus look for a little bit of time there in 8th grade.
Smokesteve, is it true what they say about the altar boys and the priests?
Yeah, what was your relationship like with the
priest?
Not me. There was nothing.
Not you.
Weird.
Not you.
No, but there were kids in the town that had mad, crazy stuff happen to them, but not me. And that's the God honest truth.
Does that piss you off?
Well,
like
yeah.
Other kids than you.
No, I'm not like Costanza from Seinfeld. Like, why didn't they pick me for the cult?
Yeah, like what's wrong with me?
What's wrong with me?
I'm happy to have not been chosen to be molested as a child.
Chosen one.
But to tell you the truth, like a long time ago, this is one of the main reasons why I no longer consider myself to be Catholic, and I have officially renounced that religion because that was a fucked up era, man, and I could never live with that sort of a thing.
So you don't eat fish on Friday during Lent?
I renounced it, bro.
I still eat fish on Lent.
Yeah, I renounced it. I'm eating fucking fish all day long, bro, on Friday, Lent.
You don't eat meat?
Oh, is Lent when you give something up on a Friday?
I'll eat everything.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you can only eat fish. I forget the rules already.
Yeah, you can only eat fish. You can't eat meat.
You're kidding me. You still do that?
Yeah, I still do it.
What do you go out and buy some haddock?
I don't know. It's just I've done it my whole life. It's just a tradition. I don't really go to church or anything, but it's just
when
something
you put it in the pan, do you give you the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit?
I don't know if you're supposed to do that.
Flip it over, a little salt. Any holy water?
No. I go to on like a Creaster, I guess, because on Easter I'll take my mom to Catholic church. But my wife and son are gosh, I don't even know what Lutheran.
Do you receive the communion still, even though you're an infrequent visitor?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't I? It doesn't say anything about if you don't go enough times that you can't receive it.
And will you let the priest actually put his hand in your mouth to give
No.
I
I put my hand out. Yeah.
You do the
and I don't do the wine. I've never done the wine. I always thought that was gross. You like sip off that chalice. No, I ain't doing that.
Germaphobe?
I mean, it's just
you and Trump do have
I don't think I've
common.
ever. I don't think even when I was a kid you couldn't because it was wine or whatever. And then when I was adult, I was like, I ain't doing that. Because you don't have to. You can just do the bread.
They don't let kids drink wine?
It's Manischewitz, which is funny because that's a Jewish wine.
Yeah.
And I used to, when we were done with the altar boy mass, we would grab a handful of Eucharists and we'd take a swig of wine and chop a bunch of Eucharists as we were walking down.
Those things are nasty, man.
Well,
that was funniest thing about religion. My wife was very religious, came from a Catholic upbringing and all that. She met me, no religion. I went to CCD for 2 times to go to sleep in bed. So we're getting older. Well, dating, got married. My brother had a little girl, and she was going to become a godmother. She went to the church, and they found out that she had a kid out of wedlock. The priest actually called her a whore. And that's and that's when she's like, F the church and all that stuff. Stop.
These were in the meetings before the wedding?
Well, no, they need to. Like, I'm
It's
a
called
godfather, and I have no religion in me. That's the funny part. I'm a godfather of 2 kids, but she couldn't even become one because she had a kid out of wedlock or whatever the terminology the church
Wow.
uses. And the priest called her a whore.
So you're more qualified than she is.
Yes, somehow, because I'm not a whore.
Yeah, they used to have these pre-Cana meetings. You had to, if one person wasn't Catholic, you had to go to these meetings in order to get married in the Catholic Church, and the priest would teach you about them. But I did not get, me and the wife, hell no, we got married by a JP. That's all you need.
Yeah, we
we
did
got
JP
married.
too.
We got, it was a priest guy, but he wasn't Catholic.
I was married by a Unitarian Universalist minister.
Wow.
What the hell is that?
I was never married, and I have a child. Yay!
Yeah,
Works for me.
You're a whore.
Is that your
such
religion?
a whore.
Last
Actually,
dance?
men cannot be whores.
Last
What?
dance, is that your religion of choice?
I'm an atheist.
You're not a Unitarian
No.
Universalist.
There was a time,
Well, the religion-
last dance, where I have to admit that I thought you might be Jewish.
Oh, I was
Whoa.
raised Jewish.
Were you? Oh,
Oh, yeah,
well, that's a good guess.
No, my
Oh.
dad was Jewish and my mom was not. My mom converted to marry my dad, but she didn't give a shit.
You just always stuck up for the Jews so much. I figured you must be a Jew.
Well,
Oh, that's
you know,
right. Yeah.
I stick up for everybody.
Well, I don't know.
Oh,
if
yeah.
that's true.
Other than Russians.
I stick up for them too.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know you were vegan if you didn't tell me once,
I'll
because
stick up for those guys, those assholes too.
you never mentioned that.
It's not that interesting.
My granddad was in German concentration camps with the Jews.
No kidding, huh?
He got
Yeah,
shot in
really?
the arse trying to escape.
Grandpa-
Oh, okay.
Grandpa vapes?
He, his surname's Wierzbicki. He was Polish. He was taken at 14
yeah.
years old.
Pollock. Yep.
Mhm.
Crazy, brother.
It was tough being Polish because both the Russians and the Germans wanted to kill you.
Plus, you needed so many of them to screw in the light bulbs.
Changing the light bulbs, that was always a problem.
Well, they make such fine potato vodka and those delicious potato pierogies. This,
One
That's
quarter
correct,
of me
brother.
is supposedly Polish.
you must like yourself a
Same
nice
here.
pierogi.
Quarter Polish here.
I don't even know what the hell I'm at. I'm Italian and Irish, I think.
You haven't done Ancestry DNA or 23andMe?
Fuck no. My wife did that. Oh, my wife was funny when she did hers. Well, she's like a mutt mixed everything. She's half black too. And I forget where it came from. What country? Austria or something. And that gave me the hint like this is all bullshit. My friend did it with his own sister with the same, and they got different results all around too. So it's a shame.
No kidding. Did it with his own sister?
No, I was just thinking that.
Virginia.
Different results.
They're from West Virginia, yeah.
all right. Totally normal.
One of the reasons I was interested, my sister especially, is my dad.
Whoa.
He married my mom when he was like 38 or something like that. And he never would talk much about his life from when he left home to 38. So we always assumed there was some half sibling out there or 30 or 40. And so we did this and we haven't found anybody. So I don't know what the hell he was doing during those years.
So there was some speculation in the last 10 years that I might not be my dad's son.
Oh.
But it was just just a speculation because my uncle was very protective of me. In some early parts of my early years.
Was your dad around when you were young?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay. Was your mom around too?
Yeah. My mum and dad are still together, but I look a lot more like my uncle as well. But obviously, that's my dad's brother, and obviously traits get passed down.
Exactly.
Biscuit, have you developed these theories when you've been hanging out with your father and brothers?
Yeah.
Don't you guys drink like liters of hard alcohol and beers together?
I did at some point, but not back then. This is when I was like 15.
Oh, no kidding, huh?
I was like, it was a theory that I came up with myself because of the stories I'd heard that my uncle got overprotective when my dad took me out on a motorbike when I was like 6. And my uncle punched my dad in the face for taking me out without a helmet on when I was 6.
I'm a protective uncle.
Is he an older brother?
Yes, my dad was the youngest.
Well, he could just be like that. What are you doing, shithead? You know, get the helmet on your kid.
Pretty much. But when I was younger, it was just speculation. You know what I mean? Nothing came with it.
It's true. Ethan's right. It could be just watching out because, like, dude, put a helmet on him just in case, sort of thing. You know, that's a whackable offense, I would say. Give somebody a cuff for that, like, dude, put a helmet on the kid. I think that's legit.
But it didn't make matters any better that my dad wasn't on my birth certificate either. But that was for tax reasons.
What?
It was they were swindling the tax, saying they weren't living together at the time.
Oh, I don't know how taxes work there. That helps.
Yeah, because basically she was saying she was a single mom.
Are your parents gypsies?
No.
Lots of people do it, so they get child benefit basically, as well as other benefits.
What am I hearing here?
Biscuit, do you think like there was a wrestling match and your dad and uncle just tag teamed and your mom was on the other side?
No.
Oh, come on.
I know that it's not true now. But when I was younger, it was
are you trying to be clean with it?
Oops. Sorry about that.
Awkwardness.
Yeah.
We were just wrestling around and
yeah,
you know, things happen.
I'm just kidding. To be honest, with like, I got nephews, I got nieces. I don't agree to what my sister, and I try to be protective of them too. So that doesn't really mean anything now.
I know that it don't mean anything now. It's just when I was younger.
But didn't that fuck you up as a kid?
Things didn't add up.
Did you ever just straight out ask your dad, like, "Are you really my dad?"
I asked my mum.
Oh, okay. You were scared of your dad?
No. It's just that my mum would know more than my dad would.
She sure would.
I don't. And when I speak about
the biggest evidence was back then was that my dad wasn't on my birth certificate, and I asked her why, and she just told me that it was because of tax reasons.
And was that the case, Biscuit, in the end?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
My dad is my dad.
Yeah, nice and innocent, but a little bit guilty to the government.
Yeah. And they didn't get married till I was 1 year old, and as an extra kicker, they got married on my birthday.
Yeah.
So I share my birthday with their anniversary.
So you're a bastard.
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, I could also say my daughter's a bastard as well, but it's not a real term.
My son's a bastard. I call him it all the time.
My brother is too. He didn't realize it till he was like in his 20s.
Really?
He turned like 28, and then a few months later, my parents had their 28th anniversary, and he's like,
"My sister,
wait a minute."
She was like in her 20s, and she said, "Wait a minute, you guys didn't get married until and my birthday? Wait, oh my god!"
Yeah, I've been calling my son a bastard since he's been 3. So.
I guess that's wrong. I guess they had their anniversary, and then it was less than 9 months that he had his birthday.
I mean, these days it's more and more popular that parents aren't married, so
You're right. Nobody cares.
So they were married when he was born, but not when he was conceived.
What makes you a bastard, when you're conceived or when you're born?
I think
I think it's when you're born, isn't it?
Conceived.
Is it
Conceived.
No, I think it's conceived. Yeah.
Conceived.
Even
Yeah.
though the shotgun weddings don't work, it's about conceived, I believe.
Yeah.
That's what my wife said. She's the religious one.
I always
Got called
heard
a whore.
that if you get married before the baby's born,
Don't believe a word she says.
Exactly.
then
Such a whore.
it's legitimate.
No, you're right. You're right. It is born because
Yeah.
the actual definition of a shotgun wedding is the woman is pregnant.
But you might try to fool someone into thinking that they were conceived when they were married if you have a shotgun wedding.
Now, there could be some tomfoolery involved, but I think proper style would be shotgun wedding is pregnant before, but not given birth to yet.
I'm sorry, did you say tomfoolery?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, he did.
Good word.
Well, a lot of women trap men that way, don't they? They get pregnant.
Yeah,
and force them
yeah.
into marriage.
You ain't lying, Biscuit. You weren't fooled by yours. You
Oh,
didn't
no.
get trapped.
I was lucky. It was a lucky escape as well because you were fucking nuts.
You know what they say?
You're all nuts.
Don't put your blank in blank.
Oh, sorry, Steve's wife. She's still in the chat.
Well, what do you think about abortions then, chaps? With like, I know, but it's,
Let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, sure that's
Yeah,
not
she's
easy.
commenting right here. A bastard is born to unmarried
Oh, there you go.
parents.
There we go.
Oh, is that what it is?
And
my
we all
brother-
know
my
that
brother's
from
not a bastard. He was just what he
My sister's
conceived
not a
out of.
bastard either.
we know that from the bastard Jon Snow.
No, you can hear me?
So what about abortion?
Yes, go.
Oh, sorry, chaps. I didn't know too sure. Yeah, what do you think about abortion? Do you think a woman should have a choice?
I'm pro-choice, but only
I do.
with caveats.
It's a double-edged
Caveats.
sword.
So you're pro-choice, though, are you, Biscuit?
Yeah, but with caveats. It has to be early pregnancy.
Okay,
And
I
also-
understand. I understand.
And also, it can't just be, I don't want this baby now. Let's get aborted. I think if they're young or they've been raped, then I think that's more of a reason than just I don't want it now.
You could put the baby up for abortion. Jesus,
Adoption.
adoption. Yes.
Yeah, adoption's a
Yeah,
better,
I mean,
a much
yeah.
better idea.
I agree.
If it's a young girl, then I think abortion's a better option.
So if we go on like my body, my choice, wouldn't that work the same with vaccines?
No.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. Who's here saying that you got to be forced to take a vaccine?
Wait, we're back to vaccine. I thought we were talking about abortion.
I think he did the sleight of hand. He wanted to get back into the vaccine.
We got tricked.
So it's my body, my choice. The left always scream about my body, my choice. So why can't you say my body, my choice when it comes to experimental gene therapy?
It is your choice right now.
It is.
Well, not really, because I can't.
Well,
go to
it
football games.
is.
I
The
can't go to
government
places.
didn't come with a
I
needle
can't
in
go
your
to
arm.
these places. I
You
cannot
got
go
to
to
let-
these
Wait.
places.
Welshie, what's the difference in the UK? What can you not do
Okay,
without?
so I cannot go to a football game. Yes, because
How do you
I-
get into a football game with the vaccine? Like, what do you use?
Well, you've got to show them your NHS app to show you've been vaccinated. So
An
so
app?
It's gonna
Yeah,
cut,
so-
cut down on the spread of the disease. That's a good idea.
So what happened if you had a flip phone?
well, you don't get in the stadium. There's been cases
I
where
would
people can't get
posit
through
that
the-
You don't get a date.
I would posit that it's only a temporary measure for the next 2 or 3 years until.
Ah,
No, I disagree, Aphid Lip. I think it's a stupid measure
do they give
because
you your rights back though, Biscuit? In history, do they give you your rights back freely, or do they take them away and
Well,
never give them
no,
you back?
but
In
And
history,
tends to go one way.
hold on
only
one
goes one
second.
way, mate. Only one way.
One second, Welsh. So my thought on this whole thing is that it is a good idea because if you have the vaccine, then you're probably going to be fine, and that the people who don't, if there is a virus jumping around, it's going to predominantly jump around to the fans that have no vaccine. So why not let them all in and just let it be a free-for-all?
Yeah, I think they should. I was just taking a piss. I don't think they should do.
Oh, wow, look at you using the British
Oh.
term.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Taking the piss out, huh?
Welshman.
Well, blokes, you know.
Welshman, I wouldn't worry because in 5 years, all us vaccine people are going to be dead, and there'll be plenty of seats for you to watch the football game.
Yeah, but you're a vaccine guy. You'll be dead
Why
too.
I know.
But his wife won't.
I got good life insurance, though. That's why.
Well, they won't cover you, mate. I've got memos from.
They're not
I've
going to
got
cover me
memos-
because I got vaccinated now.
No, that's right. So if you have a blood clot,
But if I take a shot of heroin and overdose right now, I'm covered.
And they can put it down to the vaccine, you're not covered. I've got documents from Bupa in the UK, who's a private healthcare, and no life insurance is covering it. I've seen plenty of memos. So vaccines are not covered under life insurance.
Cup of tea is back.
I mean, these are all true things, especially Biscuit. He needs to know this. Your life insurance ain't covering you, mate.
Oh,
I ain't got life insurance.
Well,
I gotta go in and
lucky
tell
for
the
you.
whore this now. She's screwed.
I don't even have home insurance.
It is
You don't have
true,
home
though, honestly.
insurance?
No,
What?
Do you own your
can't
home?
afford it.
If someone falls on your if someone falls on your property, you're screwed.
No, we don't have those laws in this country.
Oh, that's right. You're in the good country.
Maybe the landlord?
Home insurance here is for contents, not for dipshits that want to come on my
Yeah,
property.
you're talking about liability insurance.
Liability insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different
Yeah,
world.
gun
Much,
normally
much
works,
better.
so,
I think that's included with our
So if you-
national insurance contributions.
So
But if
when
you
your vape pen blows up and causes your house to catch on fire, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You get chase a ride home
Now? Oh, sorry, guys.
whenever you can.
Wow, look at Dad. His voice is getting deep.
Shit, deeper than mine.
Topple.
What's up, bud?
His voice is getting deep, man. Soon he's going to be like, Dad, get your fucking shit out of there.
He's fit. He's got a mouth on him already. He's like a little adult. He thinks he is. So
Hell,
He's going to be
halfway
kicking
there.
out. He's going to be
Well,
kicking your walker out from under.
like I
you
said,
any day now.
he
His
plays.
pitch is going down. He's
He's a freshman in high school. He's played lacrosse, so he plays with upperclassmates. So he thinks he's like top dog.
Right.
I want to pay a smaller kid to kick his ass, just bring him back down to his level. So
Is that all he does is lacrosse? No wrestling, boxing, karate?
no, he plays lacrosse and he plays street ball. He can't make the team because the kids on that team are just too amazing. He'd be
Basketball?
he'd be just a bench. And he knows it, but it's just what it is.
You're
Believe
made-
it or not,
you're
I
made-
made my primary school football team once.
Is that soccer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Topple, your main workout is watching basketball, right?
I love basketball. I love it. And I hate what's going on. I don't know if none of you guys probably watch basketball. So.
Do you like the Kemba Walker trade?
Yeah, it screws the Celtics. Absolutely.
Yeah, Celtics fans aren't happy about it.
You get Hartford back.
Yeah, I don't know. That guy was pretty good.
Yeah,
Walker.
but he sat on the bench and got paid this year. So, Biscuit, did you play any sports when you were young?
Football, rugby, and field hockey.
Field hockey.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, that's for girls.
No, it's not. There's a
it's
guys
unisex.
league.
Is there really? I've only seen girls ever play field hockey. Or
No,
around
Our
here.
school has a field hockey men's team.
Do they
Really?
wear?
Yeah.
Do they?
yeah.
Do they wear plaid skirts too?
No, they have a different uniform.
Today.
It's their choice these days. They could if they want.
It's true.
Well, the guys could sign for the girls team now.
Exactly.
So.
I used to also do gymnastic trampoline as well.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You thought about picking that back up, Biscuit?
I'm too heavy for trampoline these days.
You ever really mess yourself up doing that?
Never. I had a good
Really?
teacher. Yeah. I started us off small, and I was doing full pikes, half pikes, and somersaults by end of the year.
That would take an incredible engineering feat of trampolines for you to do some of that stuff now.
To do it now, yeah. About 3 years ago, I could still do jump splits and small somersaults.
Oh, do you guys have a? Go ahead.
I bet there's an engineer somewhere who would take that as a challenge.
Oh fuck yeah!
There's a YouTube channel where they drop
job
stuff.
with my new camping chair that I bought that supports up to 50 stone.
What is that about? 700
about
pounds?
500. No,
600 pounds or something, right?
About 350 kilos, something like that.
So 1 stone is
36
14
stones and pounds.
14 pounds.
The answer is 504 pounds.
504 pounds.
There you go.
Jesus.
That's
how tall are you?
5'11". I'm only I say
you're
only.
you're a big boy.
I'm 32 stone at minute.
He's 0.7 furlongs.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Biscuit, do they have trampoline parks where you live?
Not really. We have indoor trampoline like rooms. It's got like the whole floor's covered in trampolines.
Yeah. You ever take your daughter to one of those?
Yeah, but she's got her own trampoline in the back garden, 8-footer.
I went to one of those parks and I went to just walk on a trampoline and almost tore my ACL and fell right on my face.
I was just going to say, my daughter went to one of those and tore her ACL.
Oh, she did.
It's one of my incentives for losing weight, so I can go to that trampoline place. I can't wait to get back on the trampoline.
They had like a basketball in the trampoline park, so you could try a basketball net. And she tried to dunk, and came down funny and tore her ACL.
Oh.
I can't wait to try a high jump to a trampoline into a foam pit. That sounds fun.
A Biscuit, I've just dropped in the green room chat and asked me where there's a video of them feeding bats in the Wuhan laboratories.
Yeah, I know that happens. I've already seen it.
When did you see that?
Yeah, I've already seen that. I was saying earlier that the virus originated in bats, but yes, it was also in the labs.
No, you were insinuating
took the virus from bats in. They took the virus from the bats.
Wet markets. I was saying it came from the lab. It all came from the lab. You were saying
and I was saying that the coronavirus was taken from bats and researched in the lab.
No, you didn't say research in the lab. You were saying
I didn't say research. I said that it originated in bats, which is what I meant. And yes, it
insinuating it came from the wet lab and not 4 miles down the road in the
This
most.
is what I was trying to say, that you both were agreeing.
Yeah.
No, we weren't. He's changed.
I wasn't. I never said anything about the wet market today.
I mean, I don't think at this point anybody knows for sure. I mean, it's both ways are plausible.
It's becoming more clear.
Welshman, Welshman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about abortion?
Well, see, now I'm pro-life, but I'm throwing that back in his face now and saying my body, my choice.
Oh.
I don't think he said that though.
I am. I'm pro-life. I'm a pro-life person, but the left threw in my face for many years. My body, my choice. Well, I'm throwing that back in their face for vaccines.
Well, taking that out of the picture completely,
mm-hmm.
Do you have any justification for abortion that you would see and say, yes, okay, in that case, I would justify it?
The health of the mother.
The health?
Of the mother.
So if she was going to die, if
if she's going to die, or she will die if she has a baby.
Yeah.
Sure, that's legit. Anything
How about
else?
rape victims?
Yeah, I mean, that's something different. Obviously, I think that then it needs to be. I would have thought that would be down to the mother or the victim, obviously, and obviously medical staff and
Well,
professionals.
that's still health based as well, isn't it? With mental health of the welfare of the mother after.
We are talking rate of pregnancy is a very low percentage. So what we're generally talking in the UK is 45% of all abortions are performed on a woman that's already had an abortion. So
I know, but it's still something.
Jolly.
It's still something you'd have to cover if there was a law or something.
Yeah, it's more of a jolly though, isn't it? You know when they start pulling the baby out by limb out your body. Now you think that's bad enough, isn't it? And then, a couple of years later, 6 months later, she's back down there again. 45% of the women, and you're like, wow. So I don't know.
Welshman.
Yeah, I don't agree with multiple abortions in one woman.
Yeah.
Let's knock this all out. How do you feel about guns? I know you're in the UK, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, it's like when Biscuit was saying, this ain't going to go on forever. They just take things off you. The government are just taking things off you now. In America, the Second Amendment is in real threat, especially in half the country with the fucking Democrats. So I'd fight. I'd fight, not literally, but fight to keep my weapons. You must remember, and the First Amendment is so important to you.
If you could have a gun, would you have a gun?
Yeah.
For what reason?
Self-defense, maybe for hobbying, but if I was entitled as an American citizen to have a gun, I would 100% have a gun. I'd make sure my wife would be fully versed on using the weapon.
Yeah. You could have a couple of single-shot rifles around if you wanted.
Just want the best. Just want the best for the tight situation, innit? So you got control, I would presume.
Yeah, a short-barreled single-shot rifle you could.
I mean, in the UK, you're allowed to have rifles, but they'd have to be kept in a locked box, so they wouldn't really be useful in a self-defense.
They come in and check on the people and make sure it's in a locked box.
I think that you have to show them where you'd keep it before you get a license to buy one.
It is quite highly regulated.
Yeah, I wish they did that here.
Hungerford, there was a couple of massacres. We had Dunblane, and Hungerford, where it really kicked off with some loonies.
That would be terrible if they did that here. If you want to check where your gun was locked.
No, you need to prove that you have a gun safe. You need to show
a
purchase. That's how I feel too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but they should never enter your house and
No.
That's ridiculous.
Proof of purchase.
Well, I think that if you say that you have it locked up and then something happens and
you're liable for it.
I think you should be. Yeah, I think there should be more liability for it.
Yeah.
No, that's fine, but I don't think anyone that has a gun should have officers entering their house to make sure they have a trigger lock. That's fucking crazy.
Proof of purchase.
In the UK, basically the only weapon that you could really get away with, you must carry the complete kit. So if you have a bat, you must follow that up with a ball.
Oh, really?
So in your car, it would be in your boot. And
so what happens if you have a taser? Well, you have to bring with a taser.
Well,
I think tasers are illegal here.
Oh, are they?
I think Biscuit didn't. You guys might have talked about this last week, and I caught a piece of it. Something about locking knives you can't have or something.
Yeah, you can't have a locking knife.
3.5-inch fixed blade is the limit.
So if you have a knife, you have to have butter with you.
So like this knife right here, for example. All right,
I'm pretty sure you're allowed to
locks
in a picnic basket.
Comes in a kit.
Is this illegal? It locks. It's totally locked.
Yeah, that'd be illegal.
It looks longer than 3.5 inches, I think, maybe. Oh, it moves, does it? Does it move?
Yeah.
The blade moves on the handle. No,
Right.
no, it's illegal. It needs to be a fixed blade.
Oh, really?
Nothing more than 3.5.
It's ridiculous.
What about a 5-inch double-edged dagger in
A machete.
Yeah.
Maybe I might know someone who keeps one of those in their car.
So yeah, I mean, basically,
I think if you've got a reason, it's for your job, for instance. It's you can have it.
There's
I know
no
people
reason
who've
for a
done
double-edged
this
dagger because if you put your thumb on it when you're
No,
cutting,
like if you had a machete because you look after like.
If you have a machete,
Look
just
how
carry bamboo with you.
Look how filthy this blade is. I use this almost every day cutting something. Rope, food.
How many children have seen that knife?
Right.
Every time he opens it, screams come out.
my mate got done with an offensive weapon with a Stanley blade on him, right? And he wasn't using it for anything untoward. It was the daytime, and the police pulled him over, and the police didn't like him. And because he had a Stanley blade on him, he's a builder,
right,
but,
like a utility knife.
yeah, but he didn't have his builder gear on. He just had his Stanley blade on, and it was like a Saturday afternoon, and he popped into work or something. He just done something, kept it on his pocket. He was going to the football, not watching, playing. Like Parks football, just normal football. And they done him with a offensive weapon just because they didn't like him.
But I don't even think well, okay. I mean, you can't really stab somebody with a utility knife. I mean,
no, you can do a lot of damage to someone's throat with one.
Well, yeah, true. That's true. I mean, is it against the law to have sharp objects in the UK?
Yeah, you can't do it, mate.
I would imagine they'd probably do it if you had a smashed bottle.
Yeah.
So I put a clip on my Twitter. It was Scottish and English fighting last night. A little bit of a scuffle. There wasn't a good punch thrown by any of them, but the reality was some Scottish lad he tried bottling an English lad or glassing an English lad with a plastic glass.
Cup of Tea says you'll get a 5-year mandatory jail sentence if you got a taser.
Really?
Yeah, firearms.
How about mace and bear spray
Oh my
or not?
God,
Well,
that's
you guys don't have bears, do you?
I don't think mace is even allowed.
Really?
No, it's not. It's not.
What
Is
about
karate? Are you allowed karate? You allowed to learn that stuff?
You better put that away. This is being recorded.
You got to have a punching bag in your car if you got karate in your
Yeah,
I was cutting carpet earlier.
I was just going to say, you have to get a rug out or something.
You have to be really, really good at karate to actually use karate.
Self-defense.
Right.
No, but like the average.
I saw Karate Kid. Don't tell me that.
Yeah, dude, you have to be like George St. Pierre or a really expert in karate to actually use some of that stuff because it's complicated in fights. As you know, I'm sure you know, in the mean streets of Philly, you're fighting over your cheesesteaks. You're getting, you get
Cheesesteaks.
Cheesesteak rumble.
Well, back in
Geno's Pets. Geno's Pets.
Don't ever go to if you're ever in Philadelphia, don't ever get those. So, but back then it used to be not in my time. I'm still a youngin', sorry, but it used to be about fists. Then the guns and knives came out, and you have 12-year-olds, 10-year-olds packing heat nowadays. That's the scary part.
Sure.
It's the same way in every big city.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty awful.
Yeah, Baltimore, St. Louis.
Yeah.
Did you guys happen to see that New York Times or the video of the kids that happened to be walking past the guy that was
I just saw that
shot?
No, I think it was their father, wasn't it?
No,
I don't think they were.
Random,
I think it was a
relation at all.
random dude. He got shot a couple times too, didn't he?
He lived. He was fine, but he definitely took a few through.
You could see the smoke coming off the gun as it would fire, and it was like it was like divine intervention. It was like Pulp Fiction. How did it not hit those kids?
Yeah, well, the guy was a terrible shot. So
obviously,
he sucked.
The New York Times reported this.
I think
the video appeared. The video I saw on Twitter.
Was the shooter a white guy?
Come on now. What are
I
you,
don't think so.
racist?
No, they were both African American. But
Don't
the
ask that question.
The kids, I don't know.
What does it matter?
I don't know quite what the kids were, but the problem, the situation here is the kids were innocent. I don't know what the shooter or the receiver of shots had done to each other, but the fact that they were like inches away from these kids while they were blasting rounds.
It was all point blank.
Yeah,
This shit happens all the time, though. It's funny how this gets reported now. Last weekend, I think a 10-year-old was shot and killed in Philadelphia, but that doesn't make all the
it
news.
happens almost every night here in St. Louis.
Exactly. And now it's finally getting reported because there's video of it.
Well, yeah, but I do notice a trend lately with they're saying that like the people are, coming out of being locked in, and there's more of this stuff going on and stuff, but they don't tell you any statistics. They're just showing you examples when this stuff has been happening for years. It's
I know we gotta be locked down.
They just grouped the clips together, and they're like, "See what's going on right now? The people are going crazy because they've been locked up for so long." But
it's been going on for years and years.
Yeah.
Look at Chicago. Like, there's been people getting maimed and shot and murdered in that.
It's
it's for years, dude.
Unfortunately, Chicago gets a bad rap because it's not the Chicago that you go see.
Well, look at St.
None of
Louis.
That stuff's happening. St. Louis, you go anywhere in St. Louis, and that's going to happen. But Chicago, you go to the Miracle Mile and go up in the Sears Tower. I don't think it's called the Sears Tower anymore. But you're not going to see any of that stuff.
No,
but you hear Chicago is so bad. Chicago, it's not. It's the south going into Indiana part of Chicago that's like that,
where the poverty is higher.
Oh yeah. It is bad down there. I've been down there. It's
you know what? Although I grew up in Chicago.
Yeah, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the gun violence has been moving. It's not the numbers aren't there like they are on the South Side, but stuff's happening all over that never happened when I was a kid.
Oh, really? So like if I'm walking down like I've been to Chicago tons of times, like late at night, you're walking, bouncing to the bars and stuff. You got to be careful down there now.
Even if you're going through the worst neighborhood in the worst city, the chances of getting shot are almost zero. So you really don't have to worry.
There he is.
Boy, the little halo thing looks weird.
Yeah. I don't know, man. St. Louis, like, seriously, like, you got to be really careful. Like, you definitely don't want to take public transportation here in St. Louis.
No, I mean, you don't want to make yourself a victim, of course, but
I'm saying, like, I've taken public transportation in Chicago every time I go up there, and I don't think twice about it.
No, I wouldn't.
Even New York City, I've taken public transportation, not really been that worried. But here in St. Louis, it's totally different.
I remember one time.
NYC, you use a cab, dude. Never public transportation.
I did the craziest thing.
No, I mean, I've never had any problems in New York City with.
You ever been to Boston? That's horrible.
No,
bunch of white Irish drunks. Ugh.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's where I grew up, homeboy.
I know.
You just gotta watch out for the pressure cookers up there in Boston.
Oh, good. All right.
Too soon. Too soon.
Sorry.
How dare you?
No, I got a tough steak, I promise.
No, not too soon. It's completely.
You can carry pressure cookers as long as you have a steak in the car with you.
Exactly.
So what are you from New Jersey?
Who, me?
Yeah, you're from New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm from Jersey. Yeah.
I know it's not New York, but it's that side of the country, I suppose.
Well, there's the Philadelphia Jersey. That's the South Jersey, and then you have the north. That's more New York.
So you're South Jersey.
I'm South Jersey, most likely.
Is it true that people are moving out of New York or Manhattan?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's people moving out of cities like crazy right now.
Got you. Same in the UK.
The biggest thing right now is houses in the suburbs. If you have a house for $300,000, you could sell it to someone coming from the city for $500,000. You can make $200,000 more because they're just trying to get out.
It's the same in the UK on Zoom calls. They're buying property for literally 50%, 30% more than the asking price, right? And we're talking £500,000 properties, like £700,000 dollar, apartments or whatever. But
I
they're
thought
selling them
UK
on
house
Zoom
prices were
calls.
supposed to come down.
No, they're selling them on Zoom calls. Obviously, like you said, going to the country. Rich people going to the country.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see if the houses are staying on the market long still in New York
No.
City, though.
Just,
No, in New
Oh
York
no.
City.
Oh, New York City. Yeah.
Here
That's what
in
I'm saying.
UK,
Everybody keeps saying how they're moving out. Well, people might be shuffling around and stuff. But if you're selling a house in New York City or somewhere around there, I don't think it's going to be sitting on the market very long.
We've just been given 95% mortgages, so you only have to find 5%, for the lump sum.
That's a recipe for success, not.
Well, it's got to be a good thing for the youngsters who can't even get on property ladder.
Yeah, helping the youngsters is different to having a 95% mortgage. They should have a scheme to help youngsters, not giving people 95% mortgages.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That
they shouldn't give it to
reminds me
everyone,
of
is what you're saying.
It reminds me of our 2008 financial crisis, where
There we go. History repeating itself.
Exactly.
I think houses should be cheaper for people that are vaccinated.
I think you really are evil.
That's a
lot
good
of
point
evidence on this call that you're evil.
Absolutely.
I'll get him triggered. I'll get me triggered.
So, Welshman, when are you getting vaccinated?
No, I mean it's not something I'm going to be doing.
Yeah,
honestly, I've read too much.
Do you wake up in the morning and start researching right away? Because you really sound like you really know what you're talking about here.
Trust me, I don't compare to a lot of people. I really don't. I'm still catching up.
Is your wife vaccinated?
No, and it's a girlfriend, but no.
Oh, girlfriend. Sorry.
Yeah,
you might have hit a sore spot.
If she got vaccinated, what would you do? Like, just totally throw or just say bye to her?
Throw her.
Oh, I mean,
where were you going with that?
No. I don't know if they live together. I already screwed up.
It's not that serious, but I mean, she's wised up to it. She knows the form.
Oh, she wised up.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, if it's the survival rating for anyone under 50 years of age, I'm bordering that now, is 99.7%. It's a 0.3% dying.
Better yet, is your parents still alive by any chance?
Yeah, they've had the vaccine.
Okay.
It's up to them. I'm quite disappointed about it, but there we go. Yeah, the reality is the average death in the UK is 81. Okay, the average COVID death in the UK is 82. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I think that's quite a shocking stat.
Well, how old's your parents?
76.
Oh, they're still fine. They got 5 more years.
My dad's extremely fit guy, and he should never have taken the vaccine. I kept it away from him originally because I kept a lot of the info away from him, and now I find I can't even provide him with it now.
Is it harmed him in some way?
No, it hasn't. But then they've only tested the vaccine for 8 months, and they went full throttle, get it out.
Well, I think that the corona, it's just they've just changed it slightly to like they've been testing the similar type of vaccine on humans for years.
Well, they've been trying to get a original SARS virus vaccine, haven't they?
Can I jump in there? This is a completely new thing. It's not a vaccine; it's a gene therapy. All right, they've licensed it as a vaccine. I don't know how they've managed to do that.
Call it what you want. It's the exact same as what we call a flu vaccine.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Spike proteins.
Awkward.
Go in the back chat, and there'll be 2 videos in there, Biscuit, on your own time, and we'll speak next week.
AstraZeneca is not a spike protein based.
Go in the side chat, mate. I've left you. The ex-CEO of Pfizer, Dr. Michael Yielden, and I've put in there the actual guy who patented the mRNA vaccine. He said it's not the technology. He said it's not to be used in this way.
Welshman, do you like biscuit babes?
I just find it quite mainstream.
Oh, you can't answer.
Oh, you can't answer.
Everybody likes me.
I
This
find
motherfucker
what he
shaved off
says
his eyebrows. How can you not
quite
like him?
I find what he says quite mainstream media, and it irritates me. Is that there's much more to it. The problem is, if you've been watching the fear porn for 16 months, I would be in a much worse situation than a lot of people I see. You know, you're seeing people walking their fucking 6-year-old kids with masks in the park. It fucks me off. What are they doing?
How you feel about kids in cages?
Well, the ones that Obama built. You know about those ones in 2014?
Yes.
Ah, right. The ones Obama he built them. Then he
You follow
used them.
U.S. politics really close, don't you?
Yeah, I follow it, mate. And you know what Trump did? He used them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thing is,
yeah.
that's it's a stupid one to point out, because Obama built them and used them.
But Trump was such a bad president, though.
Oh, whatever, mate.
It's the truest thing you've ever said.
Yeah. We're not going to go to that fucking route, mate.
Well, why? What made Trump better than Hillary?
Well, let's put it like this. Right? Biden has got a free pass to do anything. He can make up words. He can literally make up a different word every day, right? A different word. Right?
Trump did that too a couple times.
He made up words that actually became urban fucking dictionary and were legit, right? Right? He actually makes up words, right? He makes them up once. He doesn't repeat them. You can't repeat them. He makes up words, and the press just give him a free pass. I mean, Putin during the G7. I went down to Cornwall, and I seen Biden in his motorcade. I filmed it. It's on my Twitter. Now, I'm not being funny, right? The whole of the British press just give Biden a complete free pass. The guy could shit his pants, right?
He probably did.
And they wouldn't say a fucking thing.
I think my favourite one with Trump was when he's going, I killed Bagar al-Baghdadi. When he did fuck all, it was the troops that did it.
Well, it's under his name. He once stopped an attack on Iran while the planes were actually left and they were actually in the air. He pulled them back. Because they said he would kill about 150 to 250 soldiers, just run-of-the-mill Joes, just the plebs like you and me, right? And he pulled them away because he said, "Oh fuck it, it's too much collateral." And in the end, he took out the main geezer with all his crowd, didn't he? At the Iraqi airport, which was a bit of a good one.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go eat some chicken. So I'll see you later.
Hey, thanks for stopping in.
All right, last question, Welshman. What's your favorite color?
Huh?
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue? Okay.
Something we agree on.
That's a liberal color, though.
Democrats.
Yeah.
Not in the UK. It's the other way around in the UK.
What happened to Smokesteve?
He
covered his camera.
There we go.
What are you doing? Oh, he's eating. Oh, he's a chick. He can't eat. He can't eat in front of people.
Yeah, Biscuit.
Keep chewing. Keep chewing.
Please have a look at those links, mate. Just have a look at those links. These people are at the head of their field medically up until the coronavirus, and now they've been ostracized, right, for their stance on the Kung flu. Otherwise, they were the most respected people out there, and they've been the most respected people out there for years.
Which ones are we looking at? The big long one, or
there's
a lot of links here.
Yeah, the Dr. Michael Yilden is the one, and then there's the guy that was the inventor of the mRNA vaccine. The two there, I mean, they're pretty integral with our discussion at the moment. Ex-CEO of Pfizer and the guy that makes the guy who designed the technology.
All right. Well, my whore of a wife wants me to go in right now, so I'll see you guys. Enjoy your night.
See ya.
You too, buddy.
Awesome.
All right, let's go ahead and end the whole kit and caboodle there. Fellas.
All right. Thanks, Steve, for putting it on. I know you were a little tired.
No problem, but we made it three
did.
and a half hours, so
And I enjoyed it, as always.
it's a good show.
All right. Take care, guys.
See ya.
Nice one. Thank you, man. Cheers, man, Stans.
Goodbye.
Later.
Yeah, man.
Goodbye. Later, homeboy.
See you later, Steve.
All right. Oh, man. Well, it's a great show tonight. Thank you for being here. No guitar. We'll just say good night. Good night.